I'm a little rusty on it.
I'll hum it for you.
I'm going to be fine with your jokes, but I'm not sure about Dark Brandon.
How is everyone doing today? Make sure I got everything on here functioning. Right, I got this. Cool. Phenomenal. How's everyone going? Let's do the intro really quickly. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whenever you might be watching this. My name is Josh and welcome to my channel. On here we talk news, we talk politics, and we talk current events. Today we're going to kind of be sticking with we're going to be sticking mostly with two topics. Today it's going to be, I don't know about a short show, but in terms of topics, we'll look at oh wait, what the hell? Oh yeah. We're going to be sticking with the Texas mall shooter for a good while. I want to take a look, kind of get some background, kind of know what all went down in Texas. I believe, where was the town? It's like something Allen, Texas. Yeah. So we're gonna start talking about Allen, Texas, and the horrific mass shooting that community is now victim to by a quite frankly a Nazi. That one's, luckily for this time, it's pretty unambiguous. Then I want to shift over to we talked last week about the Jordan Neely case, and at the time we didn't have as much information as we do now, and I don't believe I focused on too many of the reactions. So I want to go over some of the right-wing reaction to Jordan Neely, what we can kind of glean from that, and what we can kind of learn from this moment, or I guess what we can take into the future of how they view this whole episode in America. I think we talked at length about kind of the failures of the approach to homelessness in New York City, and all that stuff last time we talked about the story. But I want to take a look and see what the reaction has been to that, and then from there, I just want to take a quick look at Biden's approval ratings. We have a poll coming out. It's not looking great. I don't really want to sell that as incredibly noteworthy. But it's going to be interesting going forward. We're going to start seeing more of this polling coming out, more of these stories coming out. So to get kind of an idea, I think a lot of people are under the belief that Biden has a strong chance of winning. There are people who have the belief that Trump has a very strong chance of winning, and there are people who think that Trump already won and that he's actually running a shadow government. Those people are brain broken. But between the two factions of reasonable thought, one of them is bound to be right. It doesn't seem like anybody's super enthused by either candidate, but nonetheless, it's not valuable to take a look and kind of assess where we're at right now. Either way, I don't think I have too much to add after that. Let's just drop right in. Let's fucking Warzone drop into Al Mazrah here.
A Dallas area community right now reeling from this weekend's mass shooting.
Actually, before I get started, let me check, because I wrote it down this time. All right. So, this shooting occurred, I believe, on Saturday, right? Yeah, so this shooting happened on Saturday, I'm fairly certain. But going over the United States kill streak as for the US's kill streak for May the 7th, 2023 comes in at 38 deaths, 80 injuries due to gun violence. So keep that in mind. What you're hearing right now is while not an unimportant event in current American discourse. Understand that it is not unique. There were, the day right after this event occurred, 38 more people that died and 80 more that were injured by gun violence. This is not a weekly thing. This is not a monthly thing. This is an hourly, a daily count of people who lose their lives or are on the, or injured by our relationship with guns in America. In Texas, obviously, the shooter did what they did, but let's be honest about this. They're not unique, unfortunately. All those victims, not unique. They are sadly another statistic. Anyway.
Year.
Police say a gunman killed 8 people, including children, and wounded at least 7 others at an outlet mall in Allen, Texas. This was on Saturday. Thousands, including Governor Greg Abbott, gathered at a Texas church last night to honor the victims. A U.S. Navy veteran who was shopping at the outlets at the time rushed in to help victims and recounted what he saw on CBS Mornings.
I then saw another man who was shot in his shoulder that was on the ground and struggling. And next to him was a small child, approximately 7 to 8 years old, who was lying there, and I wasn't sure if she was still with us. Next to her was an adult female who was very heavily wounded, and then draped onto her, close to her head, was another young female face down.
So I want everyone to really think about this. If you live in the state of Texas, your governor has made the decision that people's individual gun rights, a concept that has not been around for more than 2 decades. In 2008, the Supreme Court came to the understanding of the Second Amendment to be an individual's right to bear arms, right to own firearms. So whenever anybody brings that up, that is a new reading of the Second Amendment. It's rather contemporary, actually. But understand, in Texas, Governor Greg Abbott, all of, whoever's, all of your senators, your state senators, your federal senators, all of them, every single Republican, okay, in that state has decided that the individual right to own a firearm, which benefits, by the way, gun manufacturers and gun sellers, is more important in our permissive of this loose gun relationship in your state at the expense of you going to a mall and having to walk past dead bodies. Understand that they're not bothered by that trade. The trade for everyone getting to own guns is Nazis get to walk into your local mall, and if you get to survive that, if you are graced enough to survive that ordeal, you can then walk by the piles of bodies on your way out. Your kids can walk past mangled bodies by these weapons. Let's be really fucking clear about this. The cost is not just your mental health, but your possible life for somebody else's right to own whatever firearm they want in an unrestricted manner.
Joining us now from Allen, Texas, CBS News correspondent Nicole Killian. Nicole, everything that man described is traumatic. Everything that folks there have experienced is unnerving. Just talk to us about the people you've spoken with and how folks are coping today.
Yeah, well, it is a very sad scene. I mean, as you can see, there is a makeshift memorial behind me that continues to grow as people stop and bring flowers. We've seen...
And also, keep in mind, this is the same party. The Republican Party is the exact same party who will tell me every other fucking second about a drag show in this state, a drag show in that state. Every single time there is a drag show in any state, at any time, I have to hear about how dangerous these things are. Never mind how dangerous these are for kids. Never mind, they've never pointed any of us in the direction of any evidence showing that these shows, that this community is violent, is abusive, is any of the things that they describe them to be. Show me one. I'd love to see it. But it's not there. Drag shows are not the social structure, are not the social vehicle for child predation. That would be the Catholic Church, in fact. But they don't talk about the Catholic Church, do they? They're so concerned constantly about fucking drag shows where kids see people in makeup, in dresses, wearing some combination of clothing. If you've been to a wrestling show, there's more fucking clothes at a drag show than your local WWE event. But what are they concerned about? That's what they're concerned about. They're so worried about the 10s, the 20s of kids that go to one drag show on a weekend. But when this shit happens, when kids go to a mall and get fucking gunned down, actually lose their lives, they don't blink an eye. They don't blink a fucking eye. They're so concerned about drag shows. They're so concerned about trans people, entering into sports. They're so concerned about every fucking thing else. They always want to talk. They always say, what do they always say? Oh, we can't talk about gender. Oh, we can't talk about Western civilization's dismantling. We can't talk about this. We can't talk about that. The left won't let us talk about anything. But the minute a shooting happens, suddenly they don't want to talk. Suddenly they don't want to talk now. Now they don't want to talk. Now it's all shh. It's fucking ridiculous.
Handlers with therapy dogs and people petting those dogs for comfort. So at this point, people are still just processing and trying to recover and heal as best they can under a circumstance like this. I did speak to one woman who is a longtime resident here in Allen, and she talked about how this is very personal, not just for her, but for this community. Take a listen.
Even though nobody I know died, but this is my city, so we're all family. So it's like I feel like somebody I know died, and I want to bear their burden. And then I want to try with everything possible for it not to happen to me and to the people that I love, but I can't guarantee that. I'm going to look around tomorrow whenever they do open this up, and I'll be thinking, what is my exit strategy? Instead of going back to life, because life as we knew it in Allen, Texas, it will be no more.
So and this is the world they want to build. Every fucking time a Republican or, some fucking two-way advocate comes on this show or any other, understand that the world that they advocate for is one where you are looking over your shoulder every second of the day in public. Every single time. And again, we solve this. This is the thing that actually pisses me off. Is we solved this. We created communities in gun-free zones to ensure that normal people can go about their lives peacefully. But no, what do we have to, what are these fucking lunatics trying to take us back to? They want to take us back to what they perceive, what they were always told growing up was the Wild West. They want to live in Red Dead fucking Redemption. Because they think that was a more peaceful time. If anybody who's played that game, you tell me how peaceful it is playing Red Dead Online, walking around constantly with people firing off guns. Fuck, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. It's it's childish thinking. And aside from being childish thinking, understand the reason they want that, the reason why they want more guns, they want this culture where everybody's paranoid, is not because they think it's safer. No. Nobody is dumb enough to think that everybody having guns on them is actually safer, because there isn't one data point that tells us that. What they want is their ego to be inflated. What they want, what every Second Amendment advocate wants deep down in the core of their heart, is for a mass shooting to happen around them and them to be the fucking hero. They all have a fucking diehard complex. They all think, this is why I don't remember what fucking segment, but you know, I had somebody in chat coming in and be like, oh, well, this many people could respond, every single time. It's all magical fucking thinking. They all think they're gonna snap into fucking John Wick mode and start, fucking ducking and rolling and getting, and fuck all of it. They all think this. They all think that they're going to be the hero, that they're the main fucking character. But guess what? Not only are they wrong in the sense that every time I'm given a scenario, it's the best possible case, that it grants them the most amount of ability to respond to anything. Keep in mind also, you're the cost to this. Their fun little fantasy where they get to be the hero, they get to save a bunch of lives. Guess what? Even in best case scenario, you might be one of the ones they don't get to save. And how many other people aren't going to get saved? This comes at a cost, and the cost is normal people, well-adjusted normal people.
Gives you some insight into how some people are reacting here, and what Cheryl told me, she actually helped construct this memorial and told me that there will be a vigil here later this week to pray for members here in the community, including the victims.
Hey, Nicole, what is the latest on the gunman?
He's a fucking Nazi.
Well, what we know is that his name is Mauricio Garcia. He is 32, and it is believed, we still don't know a motive, and quite frankly, we don't know at this time a lot of details about the circumstances surrounding this shooting. We have not heard much from law enforcement here.
We are going to learn. Whenever this aired, they probably didn't have as much info. I think this aired on Sunday, so we will continue to learn.
Other than that, he is deceased. We do know that he potentially had some extremist ties to right-wing neo-Nazi group. Again, though, it is unclear what motivated him to come here to this mall last Saturday to commit this carnage.
And I guess no matter the motivation, Nicole, we do know that he was using an AR-15 style rifle.
Whoa!
Commonly a thread in these mass shootings. And there's this discussion of banning assault weapons in the U.S. Well, as Louisiana Republican Senator Bill Cassidy this morning said, a greater focus should be placed on preventing them being purchased illegally rather than banning them altogether.
Whoa! Did anybody say this guy purchased this gun illegally? Did you notice that? He said purchase illegally. That's not the problem that we have. We already have an institution to deal with that. It's called the ATF. They already are tasked with enforcing and investigating those sorts of crimes. Quite frankly, I believe that they need a bigger budget and a lot more resources to do so. But that's not the problem that we have here in the United States. The problem we have in America is that there are no stopgaps for people to walk into a gun store with a broken, psychotic, Nazi-fueled brain, walk in, purchase a gun like I can, and walk the fuck out. There's nothing stopping anybody from doing that. We don't have barriers for this. And every single time I talk about barriers, or anybody from the left talks about adding some barriers, some restrictions, so that the public can be safer, I have to deal with people either in my comment section or in my chat telling me that I want to ban all guns and everything else. Because the only way they ever argue about this, the only way they have an argument, is by painting the opposition, painting the reasonable response as an unreasonable response. I'm going to go find the polling. We'll let this play, but I'm going to go find the fucking polling.
Just share with our viewers what he had to say.
We have to recognize that we can ban these weapons, but there's millions already out there. and somebody who decides that
Cool, then let's investigate the people who still have them after they're banned, especially if they're committing illegal activity. If you're just shooting in your backyard, that's not who I'm concerned about. Bans does not mean you cannot own it. Bans would be the further sale and distribution of those weapons. Fucking idiot.
to obtain one illegally probably can. So we need to
Cool,
stop
then
that
just arrest those
illegal
people.
transaction.
Mayor Vitaly Klitschko said.
So, Nicole, what is the lawmaker response to all of this? Because it seems to be a circular conversation we may have heard before.
Oh, well, yes, and as you know, normally I probably would be talking to you from Capitol Hill, and what I can say there in terms of talking to lawmakers, obviously Senator Cassidy talked pretty extensively this morning about the Bipartisan Safer Communities Act, which was a bipartisan bill passed last year in response to Uvalde, and he continued to argue that it's a matter of that law being more fully implemented than it is now. That is how he feels there could be more of an impact, and there really isn't a lot of will right now, certainly among some Republicans, to do.
And is that a wonder why? Ask yourself that. Why is it that, and I think I actually did find it. When was this? April 21st. Yep, here we go. Lovely. One second. I just want to make sure this is a Fox News poll. 87% background checks. 81% enforce existing gun laws, which just means put more money into enforcement. Legal age of 21 to buy all guns, increasing the gun buy age. Require mental health checks, 80%. Red flag laws, which is flag people danger to self, 80%. Required 30-day waiting period, 77%. This is a Fox News poll. So you tell me the fucking propaganda and communication arm of the Republican Party does polling that tells them 87% of Americans are in favor of background checks, 81% are in favor of raising the actual gun ownership age, and 77% are okay with a 30-day waiting period. Now you fucking tell me, why the fuck does the party that Fox News consistently supports have no appetite when this is the polling that they're reporting on? It's not because it's unpopular. It clearly isn't. It's because I should say the Republican Party. Sorry, I almost said Fox News there. The Republican Party and their members get an overwhelmingly large and disproportionate amount of funding from the NRA, which is funded by gun manufacturers, meaning that they have a monetary incentive to not pass laws that would affect the money making apparatus for these gun manufacturers. The gun manufacturers pay for their elections. The politicians don't pass laws that are going to affect their bottom line. That's how that works. The Republican Party, in no uncertain terms, a corrupt institution at your expense, at your life's expense. I can say a lot of things about the corruption of the Democratic Party, and I've done it before. I have no problem saying that the Democratic Party has a lot of monetary ties to a lot of industries I'm not super in favor of, most of them being a large capital. But what they are not are supporters, are facilitators of the mass death of Americans, the same way the NRA is. Plain and simple. There are two parties in this country. One of them, well, both of them are corrupt. One of them is getting thousands of people killed every single year. Every single year. To say that these two things are not similar would be an understatement.
More beyond that, just because they understand the political dynamics on Capitol Hill. That being said, there is frustration, particularly among Democrats. I spoke with Senator Raphael
And there are
Warnock
no,
just last week after that.
understand. There are no, and let's be clear about this, there aren't any political realities that they need to adhere to. Gun control is broadly popular in the United States. 30% of Americans own firearms. What percentage, a plurality, are independent voters? So what do you think the percentage of 30% of Americans who own guns, take that 30% who actually of gun owning Americans, how many of them do you think have a Second Amendment maximalist take? How many of them are in favor of actual gun control? A rather large percent, actually. Meaning that the only possible political explanation for the inaction of the Republican Party is corruption. That's it. There is no other explanation. There is none. It's not ideological. It certainly isn't ideological. It's money. It's all it is. It's just money. They get paid to let this shit keep happening. Because every time this happens, what do we see? Sales of guns increase. People go out and buy firearms, which makes the manufacturers and gun dealers and gun shops a lot of money, whether they like it or not. Which, I'm sure the people working at these gun stores don't like it, but the reality is, every single time there is a mass shooting in a community, the only people who benefit from it are gun shops and the manufacturers who ship their weapons to them. That's it. Those are the only two groups that benefit every single time a mass shooting occurs. Because then your local gun shop gets to go to their neighbors and say, hey, well, I work at a gun shop. Come on in and, you can spend a couple $100,000 or maybe $1,000 buying a home AR-15 or something. Every time. They're the only people who benefit.
Shooting in Atlanta, and one thing he is urging Senate Democrats and leadership to do is to have a discussion about this, because he says, we're not sitting down and talking about this, and we should. So his hope is that perhaps, at least within his party, Senate Democrats can come to the table, maybe discuss this during one of their lunches this week. Here in Texas, there is similar frustration.
One of their fucking lunches. There's 11 people dead, 38 dead the next day, and we're just having a conversation over brunch.
The legislative session is almost over, and
our fucking government is trash.
Hasn't really taken up these bills.
The Democratic Party, the fact that they have not been the fact that they have not embarrassed Republicans yet for all of this, and they don't every single day go out there and say every single one of these deaths are on your hands, is ridiculous. It's politically fucking pummel them into the ground. I don't know what they're waiting for, or what cutesy civility politics bullshit they're so interested in preserving. Goodness. Let's take a look at some of the reactions.
Banging, like a couple of them, and we thought something fell down outside of the store. So I went to go check it out, and it just kept happening. Saw them bouncing off the bricks outside.
We'll think twice, I guess, and it makes you a little bit more afraid to go out in the community. I mean, this is a very safe community, or I thought it was.
My daughter just texted me.
And this could be your neighborhood. This could be anybody's neighborhood. You think your neighborhood's safe? This can happen in it.
To her mom and my phone, we were in McKinney, and she said, Daddy, I love you. And there's active, volatile situation. There's a shooting, and she's surrounded by the police. Just pray for me.
What is going on? Oh my goodness.
We had a lot of crazy stories over this past weekend, but I think the one that matters most.
Shut the fuck up, Tim. We're not on to you yet. We are not on to you yet, bud. Equalizing to store. Do you think being a Nazi is like a racial thing? Is that what you think?
I could hear my boss saying, everyone go out the door, everyone go out the door. And then they opened the emergency door and I ran right out the door. As soon as I got outside, you could hear the gunshots. This entire time, the whole time that I was running, I could hear gunshots, and they were constant, nonstop, very loud. Every time I heard a gunshot, I just thought, he's killing people. He's killing people.
Mauricio Garcia, 33. Jesus. Christ above. All right. Actually, luckily, this actually dovetails right into the next article I had. What we know about the slain Texas Mall. Oh my God. Nazism is bound up in racial politics. Yes. Why do you think they spent so much time obsessing over Aryans? Libturds not fail basic history challenge impossible sauce. Okay, okay. Let's back up for a second here. Do you think that Nazism is an ideology, or do you think it's just like an inherent white people thing that they believe? Are you under the impression that people of non-white backgrounds can be can believe in any ideology? River, are you in? Yep, she is. You know, I don't even know why I'm bothering. Let's just move on. This idiot's gonna stay in chat and probably say dumb shit that doesn't like actually portend to reality, but that's okay. Anyway, Dallas, gunman who killed at least 8 people and wounded a half a dozen more at a Dallas area outlet mall was a 33-year-old suspected neo-Nazi sympathizer, 2 senior law enforcement officials said Sunday. Allen police on... Oh, yeah, also, I've seen the pictures, by the way. I don't need to think that he's a neo-Nazi, and it doesn't matter if he's Hispanic. He's still a Nazi. The proof is kind of with the swastika that he got tattooed on his body, which, I don't know, that's a pretty good indicator of somebody's political leanings, just saying. Allen police on Sunday identified the shooter as Mauricio Garcia. Garcia was killed Saturday by a police officer who happened to be at Allen Premium Outlets, about 25 miles north of Dallas. Thank God. Dying piss, asshole. Gunman who lived in Dallas was armed with an AR-15 style assault weapon. Let's see. He was wearing a tactical vest and also had a handgun. Naturally. One of the senior law enforcement officials said more weapons and ammunition were found in his car. The source said at the time of the massacre, he was wearing a patch on his chest that included the acronym RWDS. According to 2 senior law enforcement officials, authorities believe the letters stand for Right-Wing Death Squad. It does. A phrase used in far-right online spaces, one of the senior law enforcement officials added. A preliminary review of what is believed to be the shooter's social media accounts reveal hundreds of posts that include racially or ethnically motivated violent extremist rhetoric, including neo-Nazi material and material espousing white supremacy, 2 senior law enforcement officials said. The officials stressed that the investigation is ongoing. The preliminary review found that the gunman's social media posts were not liked or shared by other users. Let's see. The police and the Texas Rangers worked with FBI and Bureau of ATF. Oh yeah, they added E now. Are investigating the shooting as a case of racial or ethnically motivated violent extremism, 2 senior law enforcement officials said. Authorities believe the shooter acted alone. One of the officials said investigators are interviewing his relatives and friends. It was the 2nd deadliest mass shooting in the U.S. this year and the 2nd in Texas in a little over a week. Yep. Well, you know, if only Texas would allow its citizens to own firearms. Fucking liberal Texas disarming their populace. A next door neighbor of the suspect who asked to be identified only as Julie said she would see Garcia going to and coming home from work every day like clockwork. He tried to acknowledge us, but seemed a little off. He wasn't somebody you could carry a conversation with. Yeah, Nazis are not exactly the most interesting people to talk to. Julie said she was stunned when she learned the suspect's identity. She could have not. She. Oh, sorry. You could have knocked me over with a feather when I found out, she said. Another neighbor, Gilda Bailey, said 3 police squad cars were parked outside his house when she got home. She said that they would not let the suspect's relatives inside the residence, and that she later saw the FBI removing items from Garcia's home. I don't understand what triggered him. Another neighbor said living so close to a suspected mass killer was chilling. Yeah, I can imagine. Just the thought of living a few houses down from someone who can do this can be a little scary and give you more caution. I don't know why people want to shoot innocent people for any reason. Well, dude was a Nazi. That's seems to kind of be the prevailing what's it called, explanation. Yes, let's see. Ideology that got annihilated in the 20th century. Unless you mean mentally ill losers who adopt political labels in Discord servers. Dude, you can try to cope away all of the he wasn't a Nazi stuff all you want, but my guy got tattoos and spouted off online, not dissimilar to yourself. So yeah, you can continue to cope all you want, but no. Also, Nazism was not annihilated in the 20th century. There are modern day neo-Nazi groups. There were Nazi groups throughout the 20th century and into this century, you fucking moron. God damn. What if the next time there's a mass shooter who's a left-wing activist? Oh, well, unfortunately, that's actually not going to happen. I don't know what to tell you. Sadly for you, the violence is proportionally on the right. Oh wait, that happened, and for some reason they won't release the manifesto. Well, it's funny that you say that happened, even though you haven't read the manifesto, now have you? You just kind of say that because they're trans, because I don't know. You have brainworms. I don't know. Might want to get that checked out. Can I call in Discord and have a reasoned debate? I don't know. Can you? You seem. You know what? Yeah, let's do it. Fuck it. I'm in a particularly ornery mood. But you know what? What am I looking for? Here it is. Apparently it did. Where the fuck is the fucking thing? Oh, let's unmute this. There it is. What am I looking for? Regular chat. All right. On your time. Let me make sure my mic is actually set to this one. Where is it? This one. It's not a Nazi. I can't wait to hear the explanation. Close this. Keep this open. For now. I want to hear about the city of Dallas. Did he have a Dallas one as well? I'm gonna put that there. At least I can pay attention to chat. Actually, that's what we'll do. Like the city of Dallas logo. Oh, okay.
Hello.
On their cars and stuff. Well, they're definitely from Dallas. Hi there. How are you doing this, at least for me, rainy evening?
Great. So I
Sounds
wanted
good.
to debate you on the topic of whether or not swastikas and other Nazi iconography make somebody a Nazi.
Cool.
Particularly, I
Before we get started,
assume
can I get your name real quick so I know how to address you?
you can just call me by my screen name.
What the hell is your Boost? Okay, I'm just gonna call you
Doc.
Boost.
That's Doctor.
It's Doctor Boost.
Yes.
Okay.
That's Doctor to you.
Gotcha. Good one. So yeah, go ahead. Explain to me how going and paying hundreds of dollars probably to have the icon of Nazism imprinted onto your skin for the rest of your life is not indicative of your political beliefs.
Yeah, so I think that this would be helpful if we could introduce visual aids into this discussion. Now, can I post a picture in your Discord and then you can show it on screen? Don't worry, it's not going to be anything inappropriate. I just want to see where you can drop images here.
I would sure if you'd like to demonstrate something.
Yeah,
I guess by all means. Hopefully, I know how to even grab those, but that'll be my problem to deal with.
I'm in your Discord. I only see a voice channel. Do you have like a general chat where you can drop images into it?
There should be a text one. There should be. Is there not? Okay, here we'll do this.
No.
We'll just do that.
Okay, text
There you
channel.
go.
There we go.
Go ahead.
Okay, now let's see here. Okay, do you see this photo?
Yep, that would be a tiny Batman.
Okay. Is that Batman?
Well, it's somebody wearing a Batman costume.
Okay, so it's not actually Batman.
That is correct. You can put it on and take it off. It's also a small child.
Okay, I see. So, I mean, but they're dressed like Batman, right? But they're not Batman?
Well, they're impersonating Batman for probably Halloween because there's a cultural holiday that we have where we dress up as different people. It's I actually don't remember. I think the origins of Halloween come from I believe a pagan tradition, but I could be wrong about that one. About
Okay.
the
Well,
initial origins, but there's a
we don't have to get into the
well, I think it's important.
origins of Sam Hain or whatever the hell.
Oh yeah,
The point.
I mean, I think it's
the
important because there is kind of a reason why you
Well,
would
the
wear a Batman
the-
costume.
The point I'm trying to illustrate is that you can dress up and adopt any label you want. It doesn't necessarily make you that thing. I mean, that'd be like saying, well,
I have a
you
Rockies
know,
hat on.
you ever okay.
I've yeah. So are you saying that I think that I'm on the Colorado Rockies baseball team?
Well, you're not.
Right. But I'm wearing the hat though.
Exactly.
So how do we distinguish
So you-
somebody
you've-
from
you've
these distinguish
proven
these
my
two
own-
things?
You've proven my own point.
Mm-hmm. Which is?
Just because you appear to be something doesn't make you that thing.
Well, okay. So let me ask you, how do you know when someone's a casual fan or a hardcore fan of something?
I don't know how.
I mean, is there anything that you yourself are a very strong fan of? Maybe a movie series, maybe an anime, maybe
Just get to the point. There's no reason in asking this. Just say what you're gonna say.
Well, I find it interesting that you don't really want to engage with the question.
Do you have a point that you're driving at?
My point is that we can pretty easily calculate and come to a analyzation of one's dedication to their interests. One of I don't have any tattoos, but as a person who grew up watching a lot of old Godzilla movies, I one day intend to get the katakana of my Lord and Savior somewhere on my body because I am a dedicated and big fan of the big green lizard. Now, one would probably say that the difference between me and somebody who just went to the movies and saw a Godzilla movie once in the last couple of years probably probably a little bit different. I'm probably a bit more of a devotee to that to that property. Same with if somebody wore the Batman costume that you kindly threw up in the Discord chat. Here, let me show my audience the example. I realize I never pulled this over. But you can kind of tell when somebody's a little bit more interested and a little bit more devoted to whatever their media interests, whatever their ideological differences, whatever it might be. And we've seen through his social media posts and his tattoos that I would like to emphasize again, probably cost at least $100 to a couple $100 to have put onto his body for the rest of his life. Which to me, you can say I'm a libtard. You can say whatever you want, but getting a tattoo kind of tells me that you have a devotion to something that's a little bit greater than just casually, knowing or being into something. That kind of tells me you're a big fan of that.
Okay, is this Batman? This guy seems a little bit more devoted. Check out the image.
Is he wearing? Well, it depends. Is he wearing it every day? Is he wearing it every day?
I don't know, but I'm using your logic here. He's more devoted. That's a much more expensive getup.
Yep. Well, no, I didn't say it's Batman. I said that they have a devotion to whatever source it is, whether it be media, entertainment, whatever.
This guy's more committed.
And the guy who shot up in the Texas mall was more committed to Nazism. So much so that he got a tattoo of it.
Okay, so this is Batman.
Again, I'm not saying that they identify as Batman. Identifying as Batman was a fictional character. I don't think anybody can identify as Batman.
Okay.
Or I guess technically, if we're actually going by the comics here, anybody can identify as Batman. He's a symbol.
Okay. I have
Batman's like a symbol, isn't he?
I have another visual aid. So if somebody has Nazi iconography, let's just get to the point. So somebody has Nazi iconography on them. No, don't sigh. I'm getting to somewhere with this.
Mm-hmm.
So you identify a Nazi by the type of symbols that they use and such. Okay, can I ask you something? Are these Nazis?
Are these Nazis? I don't see swastikas. I also don't know what this image is.
Okay, so you want one with swastikas? Is that what you're saying? Or
is this the based on the color scheme? Actually, is this the Azov Battalion by any chance?
Yes.
Oh, lovely! I love the Azov Battalion. They can go and kill other fascists and die on the battlefield.
Okay, so you are saying that you like a Nazi.
I like Nazis dying. I like Nazis dying. That's what I like.
You like a neo-Nazi militia, so you're okay with some Nazis.
I like them going to go fight Russian fascists and dying. That's what I want. Okay, I want them to take their brain-addled the fucking ideology to the battlefield and get drone striked by Russians. That's what I want.
So you do admit that those are Nazis, though, right?
Probably. I don't have a history on the Azov Battalion. I mean, I'm assuming it's the Azov Battalion just based on the color scheme. For all I know, you picked a random picture. But I'll give you that it's probably the Azov Battalion. What's your point here?
Well, here's
what's your point here? Why are we talking about the Azov Battalion?
Sure. Here's the NBC News article that I pulled the image from.
Cool. It's an opinion.
It's being published by a source that I assume you trust, since you are left.
I mean, it's just an opinion. They're like anybody can have an opinion. I don't care if it comes from NBC News, CNBC, MSNBC, Fox News. Opinions are opinions.
Opinion pieces do usually have some sort of facts to back up their argument, though. I mean, I'm
sure they do. What's your point? What's your point?
Okay, so you acknowledge that these are indeed Nazis in a neo-Nazi militia, right?
Sure.
Okay. And so
why are we talking about this?
But you're okay.
What does this have to do with? What does this have to do with a Texas shooter who identifies as a Nazi because they have tattoos of swastikas?
Well, it just seems that you're okay with one set of Nazis and then not another.
What do you mean okay with?
Well, you're qualifying it by saying, "Well, I'm okay with these guys because of X, Y, and Z."
Wait. I'm okay with them dying the same way I was okay with the Nazi in Texas dying. I like Nazis dying. It's the most American thing in the world. There's nothing more American than apple pie and killing Nazis.
Okay, how many Nazis have you killed?
Have I killed? Not enough, sadly.
Yeah. Why not?
Why not?
Yeah.
Well, I'm not in the military. I don't live in I don't live in a war zone, and luckily we don't live in a battlefield world. So I've yet to have to run into one. And
but you said there's nothing more American than that. So you're un-American?
It would also be un-American to like not like apple pie. Maybe I don't like apple pie. I actually do. I fucking love apple pie.
Okay.
Are you asking me why I don't walk out and of my house every day with my Well, no, I don't have to do that because I'd like to live in a society where there isn't violence committed by random people.
So you're okay with just calling for violence from behind the safety of your computer screen?
What do you mean? First of all, that Nazi was killing people and then was killed by, I believe, an off-duty like cop or something. So I think that's a pretty popular position, honestly. I think people, I think people killing Nazis who are in the process of committing mass murder is actually rather good for society. That's what I think.
Well, why don't you go do some preemptive measures? Go round up a bunch of fortress.
Because I'm not a Nazi. I don't do preemptive violence. That's a Nazi thing.
So Nazism just means violence. Okay, this is
no, Nazis has a predilection to. You fucking idiot! You came on here and showed me a fucking picture of some fucking kid's costume for Halloween to make a point about Nazis. This person wasn't wearing a Halloween outfit. They got to tattoo, you moron. Can I ask you what exactly is your I guess motivating factor here? Why do you feel the need to defend this guy? What's the
I'm not defending
Why are you defending Nazis?
I'm trying to point out the hollowness of your statements here.
The hollowness of what?
I mean,
Nazis can die in piss. If that's hollow, I got no problem if that's hollow. I don't care if it's surface level. I don't like Nazis.
You're also okay with one group of Nazis, and then you're not okay with another. It's not even consistent.
What do you mean? When have I said I'm okay with one group over the other?
You defend the Azov battalion.
When did I defend? Wait. What did I say about the Azov battalion? Tell me what I said.
You said you're okay with them receiving our tax dollars.
Is that what I said? Chat, is that what I said? Is that what I said?
Exactly. That's the
implication. Is that what I said? Okay, this is what I want you to do. This VOD is going to be up on Twitch and it's going to be up on my YouTube channel. I want you to go back and tell me that I said that I'm okay with them getting military aid or whatever. Not once did I say that. I said I am happy for them to go onto the battlefield and get fucking killed by fascist Russians. That's what I said.
Okay. Well, now that you've clarified that, that's still saying that you're okay with them receiving our aid from the United States.
It's really funny. It's really funny that you can't actually like quote me correctly, which tells me that you have no fucking clue what you're talking about.
That's not a quote. I didn't say that's what you said.
Wait. You didn't say that's what I said. I'm gonna delegate back to chat again. Did he not, or did he say?
Well, I'm clarifying.
Was he say that he's quoting me? Okay, so I didn't say that. You're saying that I said that.
No, I said that's the implication of what you're saying.
Okay, okay. Then be fair. Say what it actually is.
Well, I just clarified it, so hopefully we can move on.
Sure. How many people are in the Azov battalion, by the way, compared to all the other Russian forces?
Oh, okay. So you're qualifying it numerically now? Well,
no, I'm just wondering if you have any kind of idea.
Okay, we can look that. Do you want to look that up right now? I don't have these numbers
having
memorized.
five skill points in Nazism in Russia.
What?
Like 15 kill points. Sorry, I was reading chat.
What?
I was just reading chat.
What did it say?
That the Azov battalion's like a 5 on the Nazi scale, and Russia's on like a 15.
That's retarded. What does that even mean?
The Azov battalion is one battalion within an entire country's fighting force. The other one is Russia, the entire fighting force of Russia. Again, I still don't understand why are we talking about this? Why are we talking about the Azov battalion?
Do you think before words come out of your mouth?
I don't need to. I'm just that smart.
What you said something about skill points. What are you talking about?
What?
What are you saying? What does that mean?
I'm saying that Russia has more Nazis in their fighting force than Ukraine does. That's what I'm overall saying.
There are no open neo-Nazi militias in Russia.
Okay. Sure.
Well,
If that-
okay, name one. Name one of them.
Russia has more actualized elements of Nazism than Ukraine. Yeah.
Okay, that you can say that, but give me an example.
I don't know why I don't have them like in front of me, and I don't care. Why are we talking about this? You
So
came
which
on.
one is it? You don't care or you don't know? I mean,
I just said I don't know and I don't care. What did I say? I said I don't know. I don't have it in front of me, and I don't care because that's not what we're talking about right now. You brought in the Azov Battalion because you wanted to pivot to something that has nothing to do with the Texas Allen shooter. Again, I'm really curious. What is your interest in this?
I'm trying to illustrate the difference between some random psychotic person and then another group of people with ostensibly who share the same.
What makes them random and psychotic?
Well, hang on. You can't cut me off when I'm trying to explain what I mean.
Go ahead, finish your sentence, and I'm going to ask the same question.
Okay, why is it so? One of some random psychotic gunman who could have chose any other ideology. All of a sudden, there's this talk about Nazism, but when American tax dollars are going to open, they make no secret about this, neo-Nazi militias funded by our tax dollars. There isn't any kind of media controversy about that, okay? The media doesn't talk about Nazism in relation to that, at least not the mainstream media. But now the mainstream media focuses on Nazism when it's a Hispanic nutcase who goes on a killing spree, who could have chosen any other ideology to adopt.
Too bad they didn't. That's really it's really inconvenient that he picked being a Nazi. I know it's very inconvenient for your side.
What's my side?
It seems like either reactionaries, possibly fascists. I don't know. You seem to be defending a Nazi a lot, so
I'm not.
You know, I'll do you the grace by not calling you a Nazi, but you're not making it very easy on me.
If you're so simple-minded that you think that I'm a Nazi because I said that some psycho is not actually indicative of any kind of ideological commitment, then I don't know what to tell you.
Wait, what do you mean? Okay, wait. How do you know they're a psycho?
Okay, normal people just go out and go on killing sprees.
Okay.
That makes sense.
But does that make them psychotic?
Yes, it does.
Interesting. So, if there was a politically motivated shooting, is that still psychotic?
Yes.
Okay, so they're just a psychotic Nazi then.
Sure, but they could have chosen anything else. I don't think that.
But who? Oh, wait. If they could choose anything else, don't you think it's relevant? Don't you think it's valuable for us to note that they picked Nazism? Don't you think that kind of tells us something about the ideology of Nazis? Don't you think that's a bit interesting? Could have been a left winger, but guess what? He wasn't. So that's why.
I mean, there was that gunman who opened fire on those people at the baseball field where they injured what's his face. I think was it Steve Scalise or whoever.
Okay,
I mean,
that's one. What year did that happen?
Oh, okay. So this is how it works. I can give you examples, and then you'll say, "Well, that was a long time ago." So these things just never happen.
No, because you're trying to argue that it doesn't matter what ideology are, that all of them are all created equally, and that they're all just as what's the word I'm looking for? Have a proportionate amount of violence tied to them, but they don't. Left-wing ideologies do not have the same kind of.
If you let me finish,
Go
I'll
ahead.
be able to clarify what I mean.
Oh my goodness! Go ahead. Walk it back. It's fine. Go ahead. Walk it back.
Okay, my point is that in any of these instances, whether it's a left winger or a right winger, the ideologies don't really matter.
Irrelevant.
Yes, because
Why
the
is it
motivating
irrelevant?
factor is not the ideology. They were going to commit these actions regardless. They just happened to choose something in order to justify their actions. Okay, that's the point.
Wait. So it's not being a Nazi didn't motivate him to go kill people. It was him wanting to go kill people that motivated him to be a Nazi. Is that really the line that you're drawing here?
I think that is a possible explanation for many of these extremist acts of violence. Yes,
It's a possible explanation for almost every extreme thing. If you put the cause after, if you pick whenever you decide to draw the line of when they were motivated to do acts, you can explain almost anything away. Nothing is ideological anymore under this mindset. You do understand that, right?
But
we can never understand the motivations of anybody.
The ideology is picked afterwards, not beforehand. I mean, it's
wait. So he shot those people, then got Nazi tattoos. Then
No. I'm saying that the justification for his actions is created after the fact. I mean, this guy was going to do something anyway. It's just that he chooses
Hmm.
something in order to justify his behavior. So, for instance, a political cause. Now, this isn't exclusive to only the right. That's my point.
I'm trying to. I'm really trying to understand your. So this isn't.
You seem flustered. Okay, what is the
No,
maybe
no,
I'm
no.
not
It's
getting
not that I'm
answered.
flustered. It's that this doesn't make any fucking sense.
Okay, well, I can clarify. Which part doesn't make sense to you?
All of it. I want you to tell me. I want you to tell me why he got the Nazi tattoos before he killed people, instead of the other way around.
Okay, I see maybe where I'm not communicating this to you in the best way. I'm saying that this guy was a psychotic who would have likely committed
A
violent
Nazi, yes.
acts, but the ideology that he chose in order to justify his actions afterwards is almost irrelevant because it could have been anything. It might have not even. It could have ended up that he never chose a political ideology to justify his actions. For instance, Elliot Rodgers was not politically motivated in his manifesto,
So in a
right?
hypothetical situation, what you're saying right now is if we take his ideology out of this, we can just treat it as a random act of violence. If we run under the assumption that he just, it just so happens that he's a Nazi and then he shot up a mall. That's what we're going with.
I'll be consistent with this and say that
Mhm.
that applies to people on the left end of the spectrum too.
You keep saying that. You keep saying that. Would you like to demonstrate more than like one example of left-wing terrorism?
Oh, sure. I mean, where do you want to? Do you want to start in the U.S. domestically or internationally?
We're talking about the United States.
Okay, so you want to stick to the United States. Okay, I'll use the example of, for instance, the Weather Underground who planted explosives. We could maybe toss, for instance,
Did those
some of
go
the
off?
black. Yes,
Hmm.
and also we can go
Wait.
on to
Where was this and when was this?
the 1960s. So I'm trying to. I can start. I can start maybe before the 60s, or I can go
Oh
from the
my
60s
God!
at
Can
the
you be
end
contemporary? Can you
and go.
not have to
Yeah,
stretch
I
all the
can
way
go
back to the
contemporary.
1960s to give
Sure,
me some
I
left-wing
can.
examples?
Sure, I can be. Yeah, I was going to run you down a list. You didn't say what you wanted, so there's no need to act frustrated about it. You just asked me, and then I start giving you an answer, and then you say, "Whoa, whoa, whoa,
Yeah, because you
whoa."
had to reach all the way back to the 1960s to give me an example when you've been talking like there's these millions of contemporary examples of left-wing violence. Plain and simple, there isn't. If you
Okay,
could point
since
me
you
to
see,
one that happened
you
last
have
week,
the hang
you could,
you
and
have
you
the
would.
hangups about. Okay, you have hangups about the years. So why don't you just specify which years you want me to include, since you have the issue?
Oh my God, this is painful.
It's not painful because you're the one
You're
interrupting.
taking years off of my life, right? I hope you know that. I hope you get some joy out of that. You're taking years off of my life with this.
How about you just tell me what years you want me to include?
Give me like the last decade.
The last decade. So that would include that shooting
Wouldn't
on the
include
baseball stadium.
1960s. Yes, it would include that one shooter in the I think that was what 20 I actually remember that. That was like 2015, I think.
That was in 2016.
Sorry, 2016. Okay.
Okay, so you want within a decade. Okay, that counts as within a decade, right?
Sure.
Okay, and you want more. Okay, well we can go down the line.
I
Let's
would
see.
like you
You
to
have
just
also.
demonstrate to me how the left is just as violent as the right. That's what I would
Well,
really
hang
like
on
for
a
you to
second.
demonstrate.
Hang on a second. You can't just say, "Well, what do you want? How many answers do you want?"
Convince me. It should be easy,
Okay.
shouldn't it? You keep
Well,
making the
sure.
claim. It should be easy, so make the argument.
Well, you keep interjecting, so it's kind of
This is
hard. But
true.
I'll
I'm
try
sorry.
anyway.
Mm-hmm.
I'll tell you what. Okay, for instance, if we include acts of public destruction and
Fuck's
assault
sake.
by
Dude,
groups
dude,
such.
dude, dude. We are right now. I was in the middle of talking about a mass shooting. Can you give me something that isn't just some property destruction? Please, I'm begging you. Give me
Well, hang on a
something
second.
comparable.
For
Give
instance,
me
in the
apples and apples. Don't
yes,
give me if we include a
That's where
bunch of
I'm
other
driving
different
it.
kinds of crimes.
Yes, that's the direction that I'm headed in. For instance, during the I think the July 2020 insurrections in places like Seattle, for instance, in the Chaz zone, which is I think it was called something Chapel Hill Autonomous
I
Zone,
believe that was
which
Portland, actually.
Chaz was in Seattle,
Was
I
it?
believe. Yeah,
Let me double check it for you.
and
I don't remember off the
yeah,
top of my head. It's one of the. I know it's one of those two. I know what you're referring to, though.
okay. You're gonna interrupt me when I was correct.
Capital Seattle. Continue.
Okay. Anyway, um, so you had the Chaz shootings where a couple of black teenagers were killed by Antifa demonstrators, right? That was
Sure.
covered in the news. That you don't consider that an act of terrorism when people cordon off an entire city block and make their own rules and then commit extrajudicial killings. It's not terrorism, is it?
I'd probably have to read a little bit more, but it sounds like terrorism.
Okay, so you can concede that that is an act of terror. Okay, that's one. That's well, and so
Well,
we can go
actually,
down the line. I mean,
this chatter makes a good point. Was that politically motivated, or was that a random act of violence?
I would have to check the details. I believe that it wasn't politically motivated, but it was
Okay,
the
so why
result
is it
of
left wing then?
political. Well, it's the result of careless political activity. I mean, you have to
Okay,
take some responsibility for your side's actions. You can't just constantly hand wave it all away. So
what it
when something
what
like that happens, you
you
have to at
can't
least
say
condemn it.
no, you can't say this. You can't give me the you need to take responsibility for your side's actions. You're right now trying to downplay a fucking swastika tattooed
That's not my
shooter.
side. That's not. In fact, if anything,
What side is your side then? Go ahead, tell me.
Neo Nazis are closer to your side, considering that they have official support from the Biden
Oh my
administration, the people
Christ
that you
above.
voted for. That's not true. You didn't vote for Biden, right?
I did vote for
If you
Biden.
didn't,
Are you
you
back on
did.
the Azov? Dude, the Azov battalion thing's not interesting to me. Jesus Christ.
Just because you're not interested in it doesn't mean that it's not significant.
Oh my God. This is hurting my head.
I know. I'm dispensing a lot of truth.
No,
it's
you're
hard
no,
for
you
to
no,
deal
you
with.
no, you're like lowering the IQ of everyone who's
I
in
don't
this
think
right now.
so. I don't agree with that.
So all you have is the Azov battalion then. Is that it? Is that the only way that you're going to argue that Nazis aren't on the right? Is that your argument?
Your side is okay with Nazism in certain contexts. Yes, that is true.
I'm okay with Ukraine getting arms, and if some of those arms make it into the hands of the Azov battalion and they die on the battlefield, I'm okay with that. That's my stance.
You said it. You said it, not me. You said you're okay with Nazis getting your tax
That's
dollars.
fine. If you would like to if you would like to be reductive with that entire sentence, you're welcome to. If your brain can't fucking handle that level of nuance, which isn't very much, then you're welcome to. But do not get indignant with me like you're the intellectual here.
Yeah, your nuance isn't very significant. I mean, I heard the same type.
Yeah, it's not very deep. You're right. You are correct.
Hang on a second. I remember those similar justifications during the Syrian dirty war, where the Obama administration was supporting groups like, what was it? Some of those. I believe it was Al-Aqsa or one of those types of terrorist extremist
I believe it's
organizations.
Al-Aqsa. I believe, but I could be wrong.
Something.
I don't know how to pronounce.
Yeah. You guys, the Obama administration was okay with sending money to those groups, and then what happens? They formed fucking ISIS. It's like you guys.
You do know that like we trained like Al Qaeda, right?
Yes, that is true. Yeah,
right.
Osama bin Laden was a CIA operative.
Right.
It's like you
yeah.
guys.
Yeah. Wait. You guys. Who was president during that time?
We're talking. Well, I was talking about the Obama administration. I'm just saying.
Well,
that,
you keep saying you guys. I mean, this is a pretty bipartisan thing. Funding terrorist groups around the world is that end up biting us in the ass. Unfortunately, is a pretty bipartisan.
But that's not going to happen with the Azov battalion, right? There's no way. Nothing could come of that, right?
I don't know, but all I know is it's too bad that the Azov battalion doesn't make up a large proportion of the Ukrainian fighting force. Which again, you keep pivoting to the Azov battalion because why again?
They're an extremely significant battalion, by the way. I mean, they have people
really
within the Ukraine. They have people within the Ukrainian government, even. I mean, I don't think
I'm sure there's supporters within the Ukrainian government. Are they most of them?
They are significant enough.
Significant. Yes, gotcha. Significant. Okay, cool. Doing a lot of heavy lifting. The word significant.
How totalizing does something have to be to have a significant influence within a government?
An actual meaningful influence, I would say, which isn't
Well,
really
give me a
necessarily done.
percentage.
I'm not going to give you a percentage because I have no idea. I hardly know anything about Ukrainian
Okay, well, if you don't know, then we should probably just
internal
move on from this.
politics. Well, then you should probably stop bringing up the Azov Battalion to run away from the fact that the guy in Texas is a Nazi. I don't know. I don't know why you keep bringing it up.
My point,
It has
my
nothing
point
to
was
do with what
no,
we're talking
my
about.
point is that you're okay with some of them. I'm not okay with any of them.
I'm okay with all of them dying. How about that?
Okay. But anyway, back to when it comes to the shooter.
It seems like you're like really okay with Nazis overall. You seem to really like
No.
the Azov Battalion.
Nope.
Nope.
I don't.
You seem to know a lot about them. And you seem to be very interested in defending the Texas shooter.
Knowing about a topic means that you would.
It's just a bit suspicious. It's just a bit suspicious.
You're just an idiot then. There's nothing to respond to.
My
It's not
guy,
even an argument.
my guy, you came on here. Your opening volley was a fucking Halloween Batman picture. Trust me.
Yeah, and I proved you got BTFO'd on that point.
Okay, sure. Tell the boys back on 4chan.
I don't use that.
I don't know if I believe you.
That's probably more of your wheelhouse.
Goodness gracious. Is there anything else? Is there anything else you'd like to be? Would you want to continue on your whole thing? I know you were making a point. Sure. It was stupid, but
well, sure. I mean, you mentioned 4chan, but you got all this anime stuff on your wall, right? I mean, 4chan is like an anime image board, is it not?
Does this look like anime to you?
This looks like something like that.
Yeah, I'm not doing it. I'm not pulling it off the wall. It's not anime.
Well, you've got some sort of anime stuff on your wall. I don't know what it is. I just think
so,
that the 4chan accusation is unfair when this is the person doing it.
Oh, I guess so 4chan. So everyone who likes anime is on 4chan now. Is that what we're going with?
I mean, that is what it originally was, right? An
anime came from 4chan. Got it.
Yeah, because that's what I said. I said that anime came from 4chan, not that it's a place where people have an interest in anime gather. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, is there any last point you'd like to make?
Yeah, I'd like to make the point that Nazism is evil and I don't approve of it, and that the Democrats are the real racists. And yeah, I mean, that's basically about it. I mean, when it comes to the shooter, that's a horrific act. People shouldn't go out and do those kinds of things.
Yeah, Nazis really shouldn't. We probably should make sure that Nazis aren't allowed to buy guns.
I agree. Mass shooters, especially Nazis like the trans shooter, who was definitely some sort of right winger, which is why they're not releasing the manifesto, because it's so potently right wing that it would cause.
Do you have some evidence for that one?
Do I have evidence for what?
Well, you said the trans shooter from I believe that was Nashville. I think that was Nashville.
Yeah.
Was a Nazi. Do you have some evidence? How do you know that they're a Nazi and the guy who shot up the mall in Texas isn't a Nazi?
Do you think the transgender shooter was the Nazi?
Do I think so? No.
Yeah. Well, it's hard to say. They won't release.
It's hard. Is it hard to say? Is it hard to tell which one of those two people are Nazis?
Why do you think that they won't release?
No. Answer the question. Is it hard for you to tell between the Nashville shooter and the Allen Mall shooter which one is a Nazi? Is that actually hard for you to tell?
They're both deranged, but I guess the one with the swastikas would be the Nazi, right? That's your argument.
Well, I don't know. I'm asking you. You already know my answer. I can plainly look at those two people and figure out which one is and is not a Nazi based on just kind of looking at their social media activity and some pictures. But it seems like you have a real trouble doing that, which is a bit odd, right?
I don't think a Hispanic schizophrenic is indicative of any sort of Nazism per se. I mean, that's like saying, well,
wait. Are you a psychologist?
Yeah. Dr.
You are.
Bruce, read my name. Yes.
Yes. So you put doctor. So you're a psychologist then?
Yeah.
Okay. So can you tell me how you know that they're schizophrenic?
Yes. Well, maybe not necessarily schizophrenic.
Not schizophrenic. Okay.
My diagnosis, sir, would be batshit crazy. That is my diagnosis.
They did get swastikas tattooed on them. I would say that's pretty batshit crazy. Yeah.
Okay, but why is it that they don't release the transgender manifesto after all this time, but yet all these details about this so alleged Hispanic white supremacists are all over all over the news, all over
Are you
every media outlet.
okay? So I have a question. Are you actually asking? Do you actually want to hear the answer as to why they haven't released the manifesto for the
I'm curious.
Nashville shooter?
I am curious of your explanation for it.
Okay, my explanation is simple. It is that the Nashville shooter clearly had like, you know, their manifesto, had their writings. It looked like, I believe it was in like a physical book, and they found you know, a bunch of social media stuff and all the rest of that stuff, right? And this guy went on social media, you know, kind of, you know, got a swastika tattoo, posted about it online, posted about wanting to kill people. So when the police in Nashville go and I believe they killed the shooter in Nashville, go to their house and investigate, they're going to look through their stuff. They're going to, you know, probably read through all of it, go through all of their posts, and are probably still working on it. Whereas the dude online in this Allen shooting in Texas, they did the exact same thing, and it was rather obvious from the bat what was a non-zero chance of a motivating factor. And that's why the stuff got online faster. It's mainly because it's probably not that deep, and it's most likely just he's a Nazi and a psycho. That's why he did it. We'll figure out why the Nashville shooter did what they did. And, you know, I'll probably end up covering it when it happens.
No, hang on. Now you're wrong about the Nashville shooter because the manifesto was recovered almost instantly.
Did I say it wasn't?
Been published.
I said, yeah, you're right.
So
it hasn't been published.
Well, so they know the reasoning because they've looked.
They might.
Investigators have looked.
I mean, for all I know. Wait. Are you on the police force? Do you know if they're still investigating right now? Has their investigation ended?
I don't know if their investigation has completely ended, but I know that they have the manifesto and are aware of its contents, which they won't publish.
Sure.
So you're
that's
telling me
that's up to that. Well, you do know these are two different police forces, right? You're aware that not all police are literally the same, right?
This is your argument. They just haven't had the time to comb through it or something.
Well, no, they just haven't decided to release it yet. That's why. They're probably, I would argue that they're probably still investigating. And if you were, I'm gonna make a jump here and say you're probably at least mildly pro police, or at the very least pro the process, then let them do what they do. They're going to be investigating.
No, I'm not.
We're going to hear about it eventually.
No, I've never said I'm pro police. No.
So you're not pro police. Okay, cool. Well, as a person who comes from a police family, let me say that not all investigations are quick, and not all information that makes it out to the public is at the behest or at the request of police forces, especially when it comes to online social media presences. Unfortunately, once people get a name and can find the person online, you can track them fairly easily. Why they haven't released the manifesto, that's a question for the Nashville Police Department. And, if we're going to, I like police procedure. I like them to go through the process, the legal process of investigating and everything else that they're supposed to do. And if they've decided we're not releasing anything yet, we want to come to a full conclusion, I got no problem with that.
Oh,
but obviously, all the rest of this shit.
You're saying that the Nashville Police Department's just incompetent then. Okay, maybe that's true.
I mean, for all I know, they might be. I don't know. I don't live there.
Because we have an established precedent of other mass shooters, and their manifestos were published almost instantly as the crimes were.
Whoa, wait. But a lot of that is mainly because they post them online. They put it out into the world to be like read and everything else. A lot of mass shooters go through the process of writing out their manifesto and then sending it out. They want that to gain attention. It doesn't seem like the Nashville shooter did that part. They didn't distribute their manifesto out to a bunch of different channels. From what we know, from what I remember, they talked to one person and wrote in their own personal journal. But that's different from posting it and publicizing your ravings before you go and kill people. It's very different.
I don't know if all of them were publishing all their stuff online, but
quite a few were.
But that's not even the point. The point is that a manifesto was written. It was obtained after the shooting, right? We know that they are in possession of it, but they don't release what's in it, and we don't even know if it'll ever be released. Maybe they're waiting for the story.
Why wouldn't it be released? It will eventually be within public record.
That's a question. I mean,
because they're going to have to do. They're gonna have to
then
enter it in the public record at some point.
that if that's the case, then maybe they're waiting for the story for the hubbub around the story to subside and then quietly drop it. I don't know.
Why do you
But
think?
it
Wait,
seems
wait,
to me
wait.
that they're making
When would the
it
hubbub
seems
subside?
it's
There's people
I don't
protesting in Tennessee gun violence right now.
well, I don't know. You see, that's a question that I would love to be able to ask somebody who's close to Nashville law enforcement. Why are you guys
What does this
stopping to
have?
publish?
Where,
Why won't
mm,
they publish the Tranifesto? You know, I would love to be able to see what's in it.
why do you?
And I think
What relevance does this have to the Allen shooting? You keep reaching for these other topics, but you don't seem to want to talk about this shooter.
it's not another topic. It is part of the same topic.
Wait, it's part of the same topic? How is it? How are they related? Draw me the connection.
How are mass shootings related? Well, gee, let me think. Because they're mass shootings, right? Where people die, you know, it's significant, right?
Yeah, they are both
Okay.
news events that happen in what, probably a couple thousand miles away from each other.
Well, I think that you're more. I think you're probably just more sympathetic to the Nashville shooter, probably. But I'm not sympathetic to either of them. That's my point.
It seems like you're sympathetic to one of them a lot more than the other. Seems like you're
No.
very interested in in talking about one of them and not talking about the other also.
Oh, okay. How so?
Well, every time we get to talking about the Nazi in Allen, you decide to talk about the Azov Battalion and hypocrisy, and then Nashville, and then we do a whole cycle. So that would be why.
It just seems you're trying. You try to insinuate a lot without ever directly saying what it is that's on your mind.
Say that again. I was reading. I'm sorry.
You insinuate a lot. You never actually just come out and say what you want to say.
About what? What have I dithered on? I've been pretty open about basically every
There was
statement
a lot.
I've made.
I'm gonna be honest with you. There was a lot of dithering there. I mean, that's just that's how I interpreted this. Some of your responses. It just seems like you're dithering. Kind of a
Dithering on
ditherer.
what? Dithering on what? What have I been
You're
unclear
saying-
about?
You said that I'm more focused on one than the other when I clearly said they're both terrible. Come on now.
Wait,
I think all the-
wait. You coming to an assessment that they're both terrible is not the same as you giving both of them the same amount of interest. We both
Because
make the assessment that both are bad, but the difference is what people focus on.
Yeah, there's a lot of secrecy shrouded around one of them.
See, you're calling it secrecy though. There's just you don't know. It's not secrecy. It's that you personally don't know. There's an entire police force investigating this shooting. I can promise you.
They're gonna bury it under the rug, man. Forget it, man. This is Chinatown. Everything's corrupt.
I mean, there's certainly elements of our government that is corrupt, but again, you came on here to talk about this shooting. Why are we? Why are we still talking about Nashville?
I'll just get to the point.
Mhm.
I'll just say what I'm thinking. I think
Okay.
that they're covering up.
Mhm.
They won't release the Tranifesto
Okay.
because within the Tranifesto is probably a call
It's probably
to arms
gotcha.
for other transgenders to go on to commit similar acts of terror
Mhm.
against the public. That's probably what's in there. That would be my guess, and I would be willing to actually put money down on that. But
Do you
if you'd
think
like
that?
to put
Okay.
down,
Quick question. Do you
if
think
you'd like
that?
to put down some money on that?
Do you think in this Nazi's manifesto that he ever calls for further violence from his community?
Yeah, and that's bad.
All right. So what's unique about this?
Well, for some reason, one gets published and talked about, but the other one's kind of buried under the rug. They won't publish the Tranifesto.
Oh my God. You're very interested in this. Again, it's going to get published eventually, right? You'll get to learn why it happened. It's not going to be a mystery for the rest of your life.
Well, we'll see. We'll see what's actually released as public information.
So what are you going to do when the manifesto comes out and it's a random act of violence?
I'll give you $50.
Okay.
Man,
I'll be waiting for that. I'll be waiting for that dono.
But you owe me $50 if it's the other way around. You see?
No, I'm not giving you anything.
Oh, you're not. Then it's not a bet.
I didn't say it was a bet. I said just what are you going to do? I'm just curious.
Okay. Well, do you want to make a bet then?
No,
I'll
I'm okay.
honor my
I'm not really a gamble guy. I'm a gambling guy.
Oh, come on. Surely you have. Don't you have faith in your positions and all that stuff. I mean, we can
I
put
can have
money
faith.
on the
I can
line.
have faith all I want. That doesn't mean I don't pay the bills with faith, friend.
I'll tell you what. I'll buy you 50. I'll purchase. I'll give you $50 worth of Twitch subs or something, right? And then if I'm right, you give me 50
I don't even
bucks.
think
How
you can
about
give me
that?
subs. I'm not an affiliate.
Okay, is there a charity you want me to donate money to? Maybe.
Sure. You can donate to like I don't know. I don't know charities off the top of my head. What's a somebody give me a good charity. What? $50 to the. Yeah, there it goes. 50 bucks to
No,
the Azov Battalion. That's what I
no,
want.
no. I don't donate to terrorist groups. You'll have to actually pick a legitimate charity.
Okay. Pay $50 extra to the IRS so that it can get distributed to the Azov Battalion.
No, I'm not doing that either. Okay, so you're just trying to weasel your way out of a bet. Okay, that's okay.
I'm just making fun of you. That's all. I'm just goofing you.
Okay. Well, it just seems to me like you didn't really have. I gave it you gave it your best shot, but you didn't really come prepared to this debate. So
It's really funny, your superiority complex. It is very entertaining, I will say.
Well, I mean, this is my show after all, so
like it's just a lot. You know, do you have any other points you'd like to make? Anything else? Any other Nazis you'd like to claim aren't Nazis before I let you go and continue with my segment?
any other Nazis that I'd like to claim are not Nazis?
Yes.
Well, it depends. I mean, I think your side calls a lot of people Nazis that aren't Nazis per se. I mean,
Mhm.
you guys will call basically anybody to the right of Obama a Nazi usually. So, and that's who you guys worship is Obama.
I mean, Obama is like center right, so yeah.
Yeah. So anybody to the right of Obama is a Nazi. I mean, if that's the width of the net that you cast, I guess everybody's you have a lot of Nazis on your hands.
Right. I mean, we do have a issue with fascism in this country. That is true.
Okay. Who are the fascists? What can you name any of them?
The Republican Party. The Republican
Well,
Party.
the Republican Party are
The Republican
fascist.
Party. Yep.
Can you explain to me how a party? And I'm not saying I'm a fan of the GOP.
I just want you to know.
right?
I just want you to know. I'm not going to, because we're ending this call.
Okay,
Because
so
I
you
have to move on.
concede. Because you lost the debate.
Well,
you just want to say
sure,
a bunch of people are fascists and then just leave it right there.
You can tell yourself that. That's fine. I'm
No,
okay with you.
that's- I
I'm
think
okay with you believing that.
That's an
If that will
established
help
fact
you,
that you're
if that
running-
will help you
because
sleep.
you're running away from the debate.
Well, no, dude, I gotta move on. I have other things to talk about. Also, I'd like to finish the segment I'm on.
Well, just
And
for the record,
you're kind of
I want,
taking
I
up.
want this mark on the record that you lost the debate.
What record? Do you think there's like a little tally mark somewhere? That,
Yeah, don't
people...
don't you have a chart you can pull up?
Let's see. Oh, here we go. Common themes of fascism among fascist movements include authoritarianism, nationalism, including racial nationalism, hierarchy and elitism, and militarism. Other aspects of fascism, such as its myth of decadence, anti-egalitarianism, and totalitarianism, can be seen to originate from these ideas. Yeah, that sounds like the Republican Party to me. Yeah, that sounds.
Okay, so you're continuing the debate then.
I was just reading a comment. I was just reading a chat.
Well, did
Just
you
reading
read that
chat.
for me or for yourself?
Kind of for both of us. Yeah, I'm
both of us, okay.
I'm an egalitarian, so I read it for everybody.
Okay,
So I
that means
thought
you
it was a
that means-
very good
Sure.
a very
that
good
means
message
that means that, you
that
wanna
everybody
continue
can
the debate since you're still talking to me. I mean, okay, you gave me something, now I have to respond to it.
I don't have. Well, first of all, friend, you're on this show. I allow you to respond to something if I deem it worthy of response.
Okay, I pulled up the chat. Okay, I'm looking at it now. I can
Mhm.
debunk this piece by piece
So was
if
the
you want.
Soviet Union
Common
was
themes among fascist movements include
Yes.
authoritarianism. Okay, so authoritarianism is a feature of
Okay, buddy,
fascism, right?
buddy, can I pause you for a second? I'm going to hang up on you. You are going to have a moderate night, depending on where you are, and you can argue in chat with the other
Thanks
chatters.
for your concession.
But yeah, you can go do that. Just
for the
don't.
record,
In the
for the
meantime,
record, I
don't. In
won.
the meantime, don't get any Nazi tattoos. It might give people the idea that you are a Nazi. Just saying, just an idea. But if you don't think
well,
that's
That's an
indicative.
incredible way to lose a debate. Okay. Well,
Well, see you later.
yeah, I guess you gave it your best shot, I guess.
Bye. Goodbye. Jesus Christ. We are moving on. Jesus Christ. Where the fuck? There it is. Let's do that. There we go. Alrighty. Cool. Lovely. Ugh. Soviet Union was fascist. Yes, it was. Glaze, you got here late. You didn't see the opening salvo, man. It was rough out here in the beginning. Armed took the L. Armed, I'm sorry, I'm not gonna take your word that I took any L's. No, Ignatius, no. My only supporter. Etu Igno. Anyway, let's just watch the video, shall we? Kind of run away at the end. I don't know. First of all, I said we're ending the call like twice. All right. I gotta move on eventually. We can't if we get into like the fucking tenets of fascism, we'll be here all night. If he wants to come on and talk about fascism, we can, but we gotta move. We gotta move on eventually. I can't dedicate the whole show to one call. Although it will be fun clipping a lot of that out. It's totally fine. Yeah. No, it's really more that authoritarianism is an element of fascism. It's like when we are, thanks, Cygnus. When you're like assessing what is or isn't fascist, what you're going to be looking for are kind of the problem with fascism. Here's the problem with fascism. It isn't always ever moving like ideology. There isn't really like a set, there isn't always a clean set of ideological bends, but there are general trends, and also it depends on how you kind of measure it. So, you have like a lot of different interpretations of what and how you calculate like a fascist regime or something. But it's kind of it's not fully static. There is a little bit of wiggle room for a lot of different elements to it. Medical treatments authoritarian. Is forced medical treatments authoritarian? Yes. Well, yes. You guys need a moderator next time. Would be nice. Standard, yeah. Anyway, let's go. Border credit. Oh wait, what the hell?
Responders on
after mall shooting. Oh, happening now. Right.
Scene on Saturday in Texas in that tragic mass shooting was a former officer.
Whoa. What's happening? Oh, it's got to reload.
Army and police.
What about coerced medical treatments? Coerced is doing a lot of work in that sentence. I don't know exactly what you're getting at if you say coerced. COVID vaccine mandates is an example of authoritarianism. Get this jab or lose your job. Surely you have an issue with that. Well, okay. So here's the difference. COVID vaccine mandates were handed down, and you would lose your job from a private institution. You wouldn't be allowed. We had this at my job for a bit, where you had to get vaccinated, or they would let you go, or if you didn't get vaccinated, you would be what's the word I'm looking for? You couldn't get hired, basically. Like, if you went to apply, you wouldn't be able to get hired. That's yeah. It's also, when it comes to vaccination, specifically around COVID, that's going to be centered around public health, which is what's the word? I guess one could say is a very large factor in terms of you organizing your society to say, or is to say, as I kind of try to organize my thoughts here, the reason why the COVID-19 vaccine mandates were, I think it's fair to say, a bit authoritarian, but here's the difference. Not all, I shouldn't say not all either, actually, but if we're talking about like the authority of the state to let you enter into public society based on like a public health crisis, I think that's a place where it kind of makes sense for us as a society to have a stake in everybody not getting sick, essentially. There's kind of I think everyone has the freedom to get or not get this or that shot, but you don't have the freedom to go out and expose other people to whatever sickness you might be spreading through your non-adherence to the same medicine, basically. There's a certain amount of, I think, what's the word I'm looking for? I don't want to say wiggle room, but there is something to be said about the public health, that the government does kind of have a authoritative and I think justified motivation to make sure that as many people in society aren't sick and aren't dying. There is something to that. Anyway, but dude, no, you can't claim fascism means authoritarian. No. Whoa. I did not say fascism means authoritarianism. It is an element of fascism, but it is not by definition fascist, one would say. Authoritarianism is, let me read the rest of this actually, but then say if it's authoritarianism, then it isn't fascism. Either it's fascism or maybe authoritarianism isn't good enough description for fascism, authoritarianism is only an element of fascism. If we're gonna get, okay, if we found out a certain gene causes you to disproportionately harm others, would it be okay to require everyone get tested and then force gene therapy on people with the same genes for the sake of public health? It seems like a really weird hypothetical. If we found out a certain gene causes you to disproportionately harm others, okay. Obviously, it depends on the rate. Would it be okay to require everyone get tested and then force gene therapy? Yeah. So, okay. Sorry, I'm just reading this a couple times, so my dyslexia kicks in. Would it be okay to require? Okay, so basically you're asking if there was like a violent gene, if there was like the gene of violence, if it would be okay to get everybody tested and then force gene therapy on people with those genes. I think there could be an argument for it. Depending on the severity and also depending on kind of the what's the word I'm looking for? The intensity of it, I suppose, or the prevalence, I guess. By the way, big government sucks. Your side wants more government. Guess how fascism works? Through centralized power, literally the opposite of what most conservatives want. Oh, Armed, are we gonna... Can I finish the segment? I hate that I feel a need to respond to these. Okay. Let's see. Fascism. Yeah, I already said this. Okay. You got owned, admit it. This is brutal now. Obviously depends on the way. Big government sucks. Wait, you do know that? Okay. So fascism as an ideology does hinge on a political strategy of centralization, but once again, that is not an all-encompassing description of fascism. Like this is once again an element of fascism. These are elements that we're describing here. Anyway, we're moving on. I'm going to stop looking at chat now. I'm closing because I don't want to keep getting distracted, even though I know I'm going to open it once somebody says something again, because it's going to show up on this screen and I'm going to have to see it. Let's move on. Well, I'm sure you guys won't, but we'll move
Police
on.
officer. His name is Steven Spainhour, and
God
he
damn it.
was rushing to the
I'm
mall
compelled.
after he got a call from his son, who worked at the H&M there when the gunman opened fire. Thankfully, his son, Freddie, who's 25 years old, was not.
Okay. God damn it. I understand that you don't want fascism. That does not mean that having more government equals fascism. Fascism relies on a lot of different elements and ideological bends and ideological motivations. It is not simply a larger government equals fascism, fascism equals larger government. That's not how that works.
Not harmed. Stephen joins us now. Stephen, good morning.
There are tons
morning,
of
Poppy.
Really a terrible morning for you, for your family, for your
depowered,
entire state and this country.
Small fascists around the world.
As I understand it, you
Let's be clear. This is the last thing I'm saying about this. Fascism does not hinge on its ability to perform fascism. That's not. We do not calculate something as being fascism or fascist based on its power level or its ability to affect change. It is simply an ideological motivating framework for political change. That is the last thing I'm saying.
Found a child alive with a mother dead, protecting that child. Is that right?
Yes, I did. It's pretty horrific what I saw. I didn't go with the intent of being a first responder.
Like, the person who did this shooting is a fascist. They are also not powerful. That doesn't mean they're not a fascist.
That it was the parking lot was empty. People were still sheltering in their cars. People were running away from the mall, and there was one man at the scene that had a connection to 911, and he was having trouble describing to them where he was at and what he was doing. So I just kind of jumped in there, gave some directions on where the shooter went. He gave me a description, and then I started trying to take care of victims. And sadly, the first individual I went to was, and I don't want to be too graphic, but she was not able to be saved. I couldn't save the second guy. The third guy actually expired while I was trying to do chest compressions. The child came out from under what I believe was the mother. It might have been a relative. I don't know how the relation is, but was started to wander around.
No, he voted for
help,
Republicans.
saying, Mom, mama. So I just scooped the child up and took him about 15 feet away, so he or she couldn't see what was going on. There was so much blood on the child, I couldn't tell the sex. I just asked, "Are you okay?" Checked for wounds. The first Allen police officer pulled up, and he said, "Good God Almighty." I said, "Take the child. Is he hurt?" I said, "I don't care if he's hurt or not. Take him because he doesn't need to be here." So thankfully, the Allen Police Department, this was not a Uvalde situation. The first responders in Allen, Texas, the paramedics, the police officers are truly the heroes.
Yeah. Wow.
Jesus.
What you just described, it's unfathomable. Someone dying as you're trying to save them, and a child so covered in blood that you don't know, if it's a boy or a girl at first. Also, the worst nightmare for a parent is to get a call like you got from your son, Freddie. What was that like?
Well, we talked after Uvalde. He had excellent active shooter training from H&M Clothiers. I can't say enough about what they've done to prepare their staff. He's truly the hero because he was in the break room. He said, if I'd have been in behind the window that was shot out by the gunman, I wouldn't be here. He got his staff and his employees into the break room. They took one of the victims shot outside into the store and took care of that victim while they were waiting to be extricated by the SWAT team. So those store employees did what they were supposed to do by locking their doors and having an active shooter plan in place, something I discussed with him many times. Absolutely worked. And I know people were concerned about the response time, but when you're a 911 operator, and I've been there, and you get all these calls, that's not an easy thing to do to find out where you need to send your help.
I'd like to know from you what you want to be done in your state and on a national level. And I preface this question just by letting everyone know, you've said you are a big supporter of the Second Amendment. You're a gun owner.
God damn.
But at this point, in your words, thoughts and prayers have to be followed by action. What specific action?
Absolutely.
Well, what needs to change?
Absolutely. We used to have an assault weapons ban nationally. We can.
God damn, this is a fucking red-blooded Texas American talking about bring back the assault weapons ban. God damn it.
Can do that at the state level. We can put red flag laws in place. We can limit high capacity rounds. Like I found a live round next to one of the deceased victims. We can stop putting some of these weapons like M4s and AR-15s in the hands of people who don't need them. And I hear our governor talking about mental health issues. We're always going to have mental health issues, but if we don't do something about the guns, the people killing.
Yeah, Armed. You can't use the expand gun ownership. Texas hardly has gun laws. Like that's if you're gonna use that argument.
Guns, then we're going to continue to have the same thing happen. It could happen to your family. It could happen to anybody that's watching in any state, in any small town or big city. And until we take some definite actions, we're changing the narrative about it being just a mental health issue and start doing something about the guns.
And you don't think, for example, an assault weapons ban, like we had in this country, by the way, up until 2004, you wouldn't see that as a violation of your Second Amendment right or universal background checks or red flag laws. Is that right, sir?
Not in the least bit. I mean, we have put limits on speech that prohibits certain types of speech. We can put limits in place on our Second Amendment rights just as well. We've got to protect our communities and make sure that they're safe. And I am a big supporter of making sure that we protect our Second Amendment rights, but we can't do so at the jeopardy of our public safety and our health and our families.
Stephen Spainhour, thank you so much for joining us, and I'm so sorry for what you had to witness, and we're all grateful for what you did for those people.
Thank you very much. I appreciate the storytelling and getting the narrative out there that we got to make some change, and now's the time to do it.
Thank you. Thank you.
God damn. God damn. What time is it? Oh my God. Spent so much time on this. Okay. We're not even going to bother with Benny Boy. No. Not even in the mood at this point. Let's see. No training could, let's the latter part of your stream, always good to hear how the other side of things. Arm, before you go, can you give me a state that you think has the proper gun laws? Which state you think has like your vision of gun control? Just kind of curious what you think a good example of gun laws are. Nah, he probably left. Oh, nope. Good example. None of them. We have too many restrictions as is. Okay. Is there any that are better than others, though? The problem I have with gun regulations are they price out the poor people from gun ownership. Gun regulations. How do the gun regulations price people out? I'm kind of curious. I don't actually... Texas is better comparatively, not an ideal, though, obviously. Yeah, guns are like hella cheap in America. Take Canada, for example. It's just expensive to get your license. Canada, yeah. Okay, so Texas is better. Okay, okay. Armed. Then what's a state that you absolutely hate their gun laws? California has the worst gun laws I can think of, top of my head. Let's see. California. God damn it, where's Control F? Okay. Armed, would you like to know what the death rate by guns are in California? Don't know, but I'm sure you have Google ready. No, I have the CDC ready. It's 9 actually per, I believe it's, yes, per 100,000 people there are 9. The gun death rate is 9 in California. Would you like to know what it is in Texas? God damn, $1,000? It's expensive. Texas is 15.6. So my question is, with Texas having looser gun laws than California, why is it less safe? Data being collected. It's from the CDC. It's CDC firearm mortality by state. I will drop it in the chat. The number, the most current numbers we have are for 2021, by the way. All right, what should we... I don't really, unless anybody really wants to hear Ben talk about the shooting in Texas, I'm fine with not bothering with it. I believe it accounts all gun mortalities, so it should be just a... Fuck, now I closed it. 1 second, let me open it to reread it. Where are you? Stats. Yeah, go away. See how they're factoring in border violence from cartels into gun deaths could explain Texas. Do you have info on that? I do not. I mean, they would still factor into Texas. It's counting basically everything as far as I'm aware. If I hit print, do I have a... Is there like a broader... No, that's just the page. I don't want the page. Nope, go away. Go away. Let's see. That's fact stats. Do cartels purchase firearms legally in the U.S.? Most likely they purchase them. I don't know. I don't know how cartels purchase guns. I'm assuming either one of two things. Either they purchase them legally in the U.S. and then traffic them through, like, back and forth, or B, they purchase them in Mexico and traffic them back and forth. But I don't have I don't have a... Oh, wait, there's a data right here. Can I see this? Is this going to just give me... Oh my goodness. Also, it looks like, just to let you know, it looks like they are sourcing these from... Oh my god, we gotta close that. Okay, let me mute my desktop so you guys don't have to hear that really loud ass sound. That's nice. Yeah, looks like they are sourcing these all... Look like these are all pretty much sourced from what's it called? From press rooms in states. Like for the state capitals, it looks like. Or probably Maybe police stations. I can't tell what this. What is this? Press room, states, Alabama. Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah, the Excel sheet has. I can't open all of it, sadly. I don't know. I have an Excel. We gave it to the college. Well, we gave it to the college. I'm not convinced we shouldn't keep our guns. Okie dokie. You have a lovely night. I still didn't get an explanation as to why it's worse, but that's okay. I'll let you think on it. Anyway, okay. Yeah, what did I say? Should we just go straight? Okay. Should we go to Tim Pool? Okay. I'll let you guys kind of decide. Should we hear Ben try to explain away? I feel like we've heard enough explanations for the Nazi from Texas. Otherwise, I want to hear what Tim has to say about Never Been. Okay. We're doing Tim Stool then. Actually, let's take a break. Let's take a break from the hard, from the really like tough topics. But Ben, that's fair. Let's do some Biden. Let's do some fucking Joe, shall we? Let's get a cup of Joe for the day. All right. So apparently, oh yeah, wait, can I know I have, let's see. Yeah, where's Biden at nowadays? Rasmussen, 1st to the 7th. That's not really a great poll. Can I get a thing? Oh, is it because I'm on? No, it's not. That's weird. Hello. There we go. Oh no. Okay, there we go. Let's take a look. Jesus. Fucking, when did he go underwater? July of last year? Christ above. Wait, okay, yeah, Rasmussen. 5148. Show me. Oh, for fuck's sake. Can I just see this one? No, that's a B. I don't want B. Result 51 approved, 48. Okay. So at least on Rasmussen. Anyway, fuck. What am I? Here it is. Let's take a look. President Joe Biden's approval sank to a new low. ABC Washington Post poll found here. Oh, let's just see if, can we just see this one? Oh no, I tried to open this earlier. Oh no, here we go. Okay. Oh fuck, that's boring to look at. Okay, let's read the article. Never mind. That's boring. Biden's approval rating dipped to 36% down from February and just below his previous low in 2022. A significantly higher percentage of people, 56%, disapprove of the job the president has done so far, and the majority of Democrats surveyed, 58%, said they would rather Democrats pick someone else to be president, to be the presidential nominee. Allowing for the fact that it was a single poll, polling seemingly offered a number of reasons for Biden and his supporters to be nervous heading into the 2024 presidential election, though there were warning signs for former President Donald Trump as well. For Biden, part of the issue is his age and acuity. 26% of said Biden, who is 80, is too old for another term. I kind of tend to agree. And an additional 43% said both Biden and Trump, who is 76, are too old. Only 28% said neither is too old. Too old for another 4 years in the White House. Look, Joe's not my favorite guy in the world, but you know, I mean, he's better than Trump certainly. When asked, I'm a Bernie guy, but you take what you can get. Unfortunately, when asked if Biden, quote, has the mental sharpness it takes to serve effectively as president, only 32% said that they believe he does, while 63% said they do not. For those who said he does not, 94% were Republicans, 69% were independents, and 21% were Democrats. Okay. What real complaints exist with Biden? I mean, I didn't really, so I don't like his, I was not a fan of his, of the betrayal of the railway workers there at the end of the year last year. That was, to put it frankly, tentacruel. But otherwise, my issue with Biden is really that he's not a change president, but he also never ran as one. So it's kind of a complaint. It's more of like it's like a could have been rather than a a necessarily a deep complaint on Biden. I mean, he's done a perfectly fine job. You know, is not my favorite, but you know, it's fine. And I feel excited about Biden has repeatedly pushed back in criticisms of his age. I feel good, and I feel excited about the prospects, and I think we're on the verge of really turning the corner in the way we haven't in a long time. I feel like definitely we're getting to the point where I think people want like normality, and I'm really hoping that Americans will come out of this administration going, okay, this is what normal people, this is what a normal presidential term feels like. Do I want to go back to like Trump or any of the crazies? And I feel like it's not the most, what's the word I'm looking for? Like it's not the most endearing or like exciting message, but man, when you're comfortable in bed, you don't want to get the fuck out. And they want people voting for Trump, which is just going to bring a whole lot more chaos. So I don't foresee a lot of independents being interested in Trump the same way they were in 2016. I think there's a case to be made that they've learned their lesson on that one. Yo, what's up, Drew? I'm getting my vote again. Yeah. Fell off a bike. Yeah. The poll also showed Biden lagging behind Trump, the current frontrunner to the GOP nominee in the head-to-head matchup. If Biden and Trump were candidates, fuck. You know what I just thought of? Ignis, you know what I just thought about? Or Ignu? I've been reading. Sorry, I have dyslexia. I can't read quickly. You know what I just thought about that I didn't even ask that guy on the call? I probably should have asked him, how do you differentiate between Crips and Bloods? God damn it. Should have thought of that. I just thought about that. Oh, damn it. Anyway, let's see. If Biden and Trump were the candidates, 38% said they would definitely or probably vote for the president, compared to 44% who would definitely or probably back Trump. And Biden fell behind Florida Governor Ron DeSantis. That's not good. In a head-to-head matchup, nabbing 37%. To DeSantis' 42%. DeSantis has not yet entered the presidential race, though he is widely expected to. Fucking coward. One specific issue where voters prefer Trump to Biden, the economy. When pitted against his 2020 presidential rival on handling the economy, Trump boasted higher approval than Biden with 54%, saying they viewed his handling of the economy more favorably, and just 36% saying Biden has done the better job. And this is mostly a consequence of Trump doing what every Republican does, which is spend a fuck ton of money, cut taxes, and then leave all of the, this has been a pretty long, like, Republican Party, strategy here. You run up the debt, you cut taxes in your presidency, and then when a Democrat comes and beats you, that's when all of the ramifications for all of your deregulation and everything else kick in, and then you blame them for the mess that you started, basically. But yeah, so and you know, Biden should be making that case, but also this is one of those times when I say if we had a more transformative candidate, you know, it would be, I think you'd be able to turn that momentum, but the way Biden operates, sadly, just not as capable, unfortunately. Trump came out on top when pitted against other Republican presidential hopefuls, but the poll also heralded some bad news for the former president, who is currently facing down felony charges and multiple ongoing investigations. What was really funny is he said that Nazi tattoos don't make someone a Nazi, but most of the things that people use to confirm Azov Battalion and Nazis are tattoos. Yeah, like, I think I thought about asking it, and then I just kind of forgot because he just kept saying insane things. I don't know how that guy. What really got me, what tired me out, was him constantly saying that the dude isn't a Nazi. You can't tell that he's a Nazi, but that we can definitely tell there's right wing or there's left wing terrorism going on. Like, it's always, we can't identify when it's right wing. We can always identify when it's left wing, and it's just like, all right, dude. Like, you know, the you know, he kind of the ship had sailed when his opening volley was a fucking Halloween costume. Like, okay. 56% said Trump should face criminal charges related to investigations into whether he tried to illegally overturn the results of the 2020 election, including 90% of Democrats, 59% of independents, and 16% of Republicans. 54% said he should face charges over his handling of classified documents, including 86% of Democrats, 58% of independents, and 17% of Republicans. Well, shocking there. And yeah, okay, keep in mind also, this 58% number, let's see, say he should face charges. This 58 number for independents thinking he should face charges is kind of a death knell for the Republican Party. Only 17% of their party is willing to bite the bullet that he committed a crime and should, be held to the same standard of everybody else. But, the fact that independents are not with them on that is not good for the Republicans. And 54% said he should be charged for his role in the January 6th insurrection. 91% of Democrats, 55% of independents, and 16%. Jesus. They're just kind of fucked, honestly. Trump is... See, that's also kind of the thing, though. Trump is really bad for them electorally. So, I mean, I hope it's... Honest to God, I hope it's him over DeSantis. The poll, which was conducted by phone from April 28th to May 3rd, included responses from 1,060 dollars across the country by year, plus or minus 3.5% points. For both adults, 900 were registered voters, 396 said they leaned Democrat, 438 said they leaned Republican. Damn. So this was a lot more of a Republican-leaning poll. Those are not good numbers at all. No. Seen a lot of Trump supporters dwindle away. A lot of my family were Trumpers. Yeah. I remember my dad texted me in 2016 to vote for Trump. And now if I talk to him about politics, he doesn't want to talk about it. He's like, I don't want, he'll want to talk about it from a distance, but he will be like, I don't want to talk about it now anymore. I think they understand that they've tied themselves to someone that they like, someone that they really fucking love, but who at the end of the day is a loser. And it's really not a, there's not really a lot. There's only so much that you can forget that you're going to lose by backing this guy. And I mean, Lord knows how long he's going to keep running. If he runs, if he runs in 24, if he runs in 28, the question will be if he loses in 24, he runs in 28, is that just another auto W for Democrats? And if so, then I think that tells us we should take more chances. Pick a more radical candidate. Anyway, but that's just me. We'll see how Biden goes. I saw some initial poll numbers came out. I was just kind of curious. Either way, should we check out this Tim Pool and then that'll be it? Sounds good. I think so. Okay. Will this video start when I full screen or
a lot of crazy?
I don't get it. It sometimes starts when I hit the full screen button, and it sometimes does, and then sometimes doesn't. I don't understand it. But anyway, all right. So, oh wait, I should intro. All right, Tim Pool. I know I didn't do an intro earlier, but Tim Pool, centrist, as it were, seems to be noticing his Twitter activity and kind of, I don't think I follow him, but he always shows up on my Twitter feed, probably because I respond to him all the time. But seems to have a narrative built up in his head about the Jordan Neely situation in New York, where Neely was apparently violent, even though I have yet to hear anybody come out and say that he was assaulting anybody. You'll notice a lot of the right tends to characterize whatever's happening as whatever they need it to be. It's why they say things like, Minneapolis was burned to the ground. What was actually burned to the ground was a Target. Exactly one building in an entire city of buildings. Same with this case. It's why they say things like, it's why they say that Jordan Neely was assaulting people, was abusing people, was all of these things. But if you ask them to tell you what abuse and what assault, they'll say, oh, they were yelling, or oh, they were threatening, or oh, they were this or that. But none of what we would constitute as actual assault or really abuse. But, this is the narrative that they've gone with. So I talked a bit about this, I believe, on Thursday, and we kind of went over kind of the failures. At the end of the day, what lies at the heart of Jordan Neely's death are a few compounding factors. One of them being the failed state of, or the failed administrative state of Eric Adams's. The fact that they have not done a good job at addressing the homeless crisis in New York City is a testament to his failure as a mayor. He has done a poor job at getting a handle on actually solving the problem of homelessness in his city. And for this, because of this reason, there are regular, just law-abiding, regular old civilian Americans walking around, getting on and off the subway, who unfortunately come into contact with people who are having mental health crises while being homeless, and they don't know how to respond. And their only response that seems to be, when they feel like they are kind of left with no options but to defend themselves, you're going to see things like this. Well, at the end of the day, the lack of real, tangible solutions for homelessness will, at the end of the day, always bear down on mentally ill homeless people who will face a lot of scrutiny and a lot of anxiety towards them. Because at the end of the day, you don't know everybody in your city. You don't know everybody in your community anymore. A lot of us are very much atomized. So when somebody kind of acts out of way and, they can't go to a shelter, they can't, they can't go to a shelter, they can't stay somewhere, they can't go somewhere where they can get food and everything else, then they're left to kind of roam around. And then you have to deal with discerning whether they're dangerous or not. That's not to say that Jordan Neely was dangerous. We have not seen any evidence of that, but it's a position that Eric Adams has put the people of New York City in a position to, because he doesn't want to really fix the problem. So on top of that, it's kind of disturbing, I've noticed, is watching a lot of the stuff that people just weren't that interested in helping the guy. Like the Daniel Penny, is that what it is? Yeah, the Daniel Penny, the guy who put Jordan Neely in a chokehold, had him in a chokehold for a very, very long time. You can't be in a chokehold for that long. It's kind of common knowledge that you die pretty quickly. And it's a bit disturbing that nobody jumped in to kind of pull him off of him eventually, or even quickly. But either way, let's kind of just get into it. The closest thing I've heard to assault was him declaring he won't care if he does life in prison. Yeah, so could be considered. Yeah, kind of seems like a stretch. Fox. Yeah, and we don't have a lot of. It doesn't seem like there's a lot of. It doesn't seem like we don't have a lot of video footage before the, before basically the chokehold was put on him. Yeah, 3 prior charges for assault. Yeah. Like the idea, and a lot of times they've been, I didn't talk about this because this wasn't as big of a conversation piece on Thursday. I think it wasn't as big as it is now. They've had the whole weekend to kind of turn it into this. They've made a point of bringing up his criminal history, which is like a thing that exists, but it's also not relevant to the case. Like him committing, I think it was 42 crimes in the last 10 years, has nothing to do with his presence on that train, unless he was committing all 42 of his decade-long crimes on that train. But he obviously wasn't. He was minding his own he wasn't minding his own business, but he was on the train, kind of being annoying at most, and kind of being belligerent. But again, that's also typical for people who are homeless and going through mental health crises. And if we as a society don't have another way of approaching those people, don't have another way of interacting with them except to respond with violence, then this is kind of what you get, unfortunately. Yeah. And as far as we know, I think I saw the statement. There was like a statement by Daniel Penny's lawyers that they didn't even make an argument that anybody was in imminent danger. And nobody on the train that we've heard of has come out and said, yeah, they were acting, we all felt that there was an imminent threat. It doesn't seem like there was a threat. It seems like there was kind of a threat. But again, they're gonna, and the sad part is, here's the sad part. A man is dead. Another guy is going to go to jail for accidentally killing someone. And we probably for Eric Adams and the city of New York might not honestly learn anything. I hope they do. I hope this begins a movement to kind of come up with better, solutions for homelessness. But I worry that there's, we're just, this guy's dead. That guy's going to jail for killing him by accident. Or he's going to do whatever happens. It's kind of obvious that he killed him by accident, at the very least. But, these two people's lives are ended and going to be forever changed. And hopefully New York City learns something from this. But let's take a look at some of kind of the, I feel like I've already talked about it now, but let's hear Tim try to spin it.
Stories over this past weekend. But I think the one that matters most is the story
you address
that could
homelessness, you
save
address all
an
of
innocent man's life. It's a story about Daniel Penny, who put a homeless, violent individual, Jordan Neely, in a chokehold. Ultimately, Jordan Neely dies.
Well, he killed him. You can say ultimately he dies, but Tim. We both know what did that.
Left is calling for prosecution indictment of this man who is simply trying to defend himself and others.
That is how the law works.
As you may have heard, the story last week.
He does know that, like, if you kill somebody while defending yourself, you will get picked up by the police. A homeless Michael Jackson impersonator was belligerent and threatening passengers. They need to investigate
saying he would hurt anyone and was prepared to go to jail. 3 passengers on that train subdued this man. One of those individuals was Daniel Penny, putting this homeless person in a chokehold. Ultimately,
I don't get
this
why
man,
you
Jordan
need...
Neely, died, and the left began protesting.
Ultimately. I love how he just says ultimately. It's like, no, he killed him. He put him in a chokehold and killed him. Also, I love the idea that it's like 3 people had to hold him down. So why did he have to have a chokehold on him? If there are 3 people there, then what do we need the chokehold for?
Became violent, physically attacked one of our journalists for simply filming the protest. Seems to make no sense. I mean, I'd imagine you'd want people to see you protesting. And most importantly, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez has repeatedly referred to this as a public murder, demanding action and condemning the individual who is simply trying to protect himself and the other innocent people who were victimized.
Well, unfortunately,
by
you'd
this
have to
unwell
prove
individual.
That, sadly.
Not sad that Jordan Neely died. Of course it is. But what is a person to do? The latest update, which refutes so much of what the left has been pushing.
Ooh.
Once again, another one of these circumstances like Covington kids or Jussie Smollett.
Look at something real quick.
The narrative was totally wrong.
Uh-huh.
The Post-Millennial reports full footage reveals former Marine Daniel Penny putting Jordan Neely in recovery position.
Right.
Passengers complimenting him.
Okay.
So let me tell you the full.
Wait, what is that? Wait. What? Wait a minute. Wait a second. Say that again, Tim? What?
Reveals former Marine Daniel Penny putting Jordan Neely in recovery position. Passengers complimenting him.
What is that revealing?
Let me tell you the full story right now.
Please
do. This man was violent and belligerent, threatening people.
What is this on? Post-Millennial?
3 individuals subdued him and then attempted to save his life. In fact, it was reported this man was still breathing after being subdued.
It's on Post-Millennial. That's what I saw. What was the headline? I think it was like No. I want Post-Millennial. Breaking? I remember it said breaking. Full footage. Here it is. Okay, let's take a look. I want to watch the video before we let Tim hear. Oh God, and it's on the Post-Millennial. Does he only have like garbage sources? Is that like a rule on Timcast? Fuck. Is this video not working now? Don't do this. Don't do it. Don't wait. Oh, it's down here. Shit. Get out of my face. Okay. Of course it's on Rumble. There. Okay, I'm muting. Well, wait. Alright. So the dude still has a chokehold on him. Still probably dead. I love this guy, just like hardly inconvenienced. Oh, okay. What is this supposed to reveal? That he had a really fucking deep chokehold on him? Keep in mind, there are safe and unsafe like chokeholds or versions of a rear naked choke like this. Okay. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Is there... Right, he would like to get out of the hold.
Where are the cops? The cops.
Uh-huh. Right. Cool. There's literally gonna be nothing, is there? There's not gonna be anything. Oh my god, he's kicking. Oh my god, he's kicking. The violence. My god. How are these people safe? How do they feel safe? Yeah, like, this dude's just kind of standing, hanging out. You could have put him in, like, a less dangerous hold. Oh, he doesn't think... Oh, okay, so he doesn't think he's squeezing. Uh-huh. Okay. God damn, dude. He's fucking locked in there. You know what's weird to me, too? Okay. I grew up in an age where like, World Star was a pretty common... Like, I don't even... I'm assuming World Star's still around. I don't see as much of it. But, like, I grew up in, like, the beginnings of the World Star era. And you could always see people get into scraps. And whenever anybody would put, like, a sleeper hold, the minute someone goes limp, they, like, the group of people, of friends, of both, like, people fighting would be like, hey, stop. Okay, that's enough. He's out. Leave it. You won. Take it easy. Like, live league. Oh, God. Yeah. Like, but yeah, like, we've seen online fights before between people who are, like, swinging at each other. And every time somebody gets put in a chokehold, it's like they go limp, and both sets of people usually are like, okay, we're done here. Like, you do that long enough, the dude's dead. Like, we're done. That's it. It's the end of it. But, like, I don't know where that... do we just not do that anymore in the streets? Are we not... Bro, they're fucking... Yeah, my dude is dead. Yeah, you can, like, kind of tell, because he's... Yeah, and, like, let's be clear also. If... I don't think it's really a hot take to say that if this was a black guy choking out a white dude, the black dude would probably get arrested. Like, I don't think that's really a hot take. They would not let him leave and question him later. That would be a, no, you're going to stay here. You're going to answer some questions. We're going to do a lot of background. Applying pressure the entire time. It shouldn't take that long. And it looked like he was alive. From what I understand, it seemed like he was, because you can kind of see him. Maybe not, yeah. Because you can kind of see, this is the end. Because you can kind of see him in, again, there's a cut, so I don't know. We don't know what the time frame is. This is only 3 minutes. For all we know, I mean, they said he's in a chokehold 15 minutes. That seems outrageous to me. The fact that you didn't make it to another stop also. Oh, no, that wasn't a cut. Okay. Yeah, like, he's obviously still alive here. I don't know, man. It's just... I mean, I can't help but wonder what that proves. But, yeah, let's hear Tim tell it, I guess.
Post-millennial reports full footage that emerged on social media this Sunday revealed that Marine Corps veteran Daniel Penny had placed Jordan Neely in a recovery position after subduing him on the New York City subway earlier this week.
Right.
Jordan Neely, a 30-year-old violent homeless man and repeat offender with over 40 prior arrests, died on Monday after Penny, 24.
Too bad. It's too bad none of those were happening at the time of the killing.
Had placed him in a chokehold on the
those are
train.
all
Neely had reportedly
dissident
started behaving
facts.
erratically and showing aggression towards other
I'm
passengers.
going to turn Tim down a little bit.
The unearthed full footage revealed passengers complimenting Penny for taking action. It also shows Penny and one other passenger arranging Neely's body.
Neely had reportedly started behaving erratically and showing aggression towards other passengers. I love that they can't get a quote in here also. Keep in mind.
In the recovery position in an attempt to ensure that he would be okay. A passenger off screen can be heard saying, "He'll be all right." Neely appears to be moving late in the video and breathing. We have a couple other stories. A horrible mass
did
shooting.
not look like he was
and
breathing.
a man in a car ramming a bunch of immigrants. Once again, the left.
Why are we talking?
They're trying to push
every time. I swear to God, dude. Like, this is what gets me. Is it's always like, let's talk about something else really quick. It's no. Can we stay on topic, please?
narrative as
Goddamn,
they often
Tim.
do. They're trying to condemn a man like Daniel Penny.
Yep.
They're trying to frame everything as though it's racist. And here we are.
I
saying that
actually
within a
don't
week,
think there was a racial
grand jury
element to
could
this.
Indict Daniel Penny, and you know what? I think so.
They
I really
probably
do.
should.
I really do think so. Man,
You know, it is he like this is that thing when Tim talks about or pretends to be, you know, a law and order type guy. At the end of the day, one has to ask themselves, wait, Tim, how do we investigate? How do we go about when two people get in an altercation and one of them accidentally and clearly accidentally kills someone? Do they just get to go on? Can you just claim that you accidentally killed anybody with no repercussions? Like, there is a process for this. They should be arrested and they should be investigated because they did kill a guy. It's not really a black or white thing. That's how the law works. You kill somebody, we need to figure out how that happened. If it's an accident, we have this thing called manslaughter. I believe actually murder 3, this would also fall under, but I could be wrong about that. But it's like, yeah, that's how law works. There's kind of a process to it.
I do not see how you survive in a city like New York anymore. And it's not just about the fact that it is a very, very Democrat city. It's just that people are terrified to defy a violent mob. So if it comes to being a juror in, say, Minnesota, and you are walked into a courtroom where police are lining the streets with rifles and there's mass rioting, and during this trial, there's an
aren't jurors usually like sequestered away from those sorts of things? Isn't that kind of the thing? We've had public court proceedings for most of our history, as far as I know, and even more public since now that we have mass media. So what's the, like, jurors kind of always, like, this is something that jurors have always had to deal with. Like, you can't get away with, like, with there's no such thing as no controversial, like, court proceedings. Like, yeah, this is going to draw attention. Like,
occupation of a portion of the city by far left extremists. And then they say, well, which is it? Whose side are you on? The people who will murder you in the streets or the cop? You see, it's really that simple.
It's that simple,
I used to
folks.
use this analogy quite a bit when it comes to free speech.
Has he done jury duty
Twitter, before the purchase of Elon Musk.
I'm so mad. I got called off of jury
who do you
duty
think
twice
they're more worried
so far.
about? Dave Rubin and a bunch of classical liberals marching up to Twitter HQ with pitchforks and crowbars, or Antifa? I assure you, not a single company in this country, in this world, is worried about a person like Dave Rubin, a mild-mannered classical
Who would be
liberal
worried about
who's
Dave Rubin? Dave Rubin doesn't even know what fucking kind of jelly he wants in his peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Why would I ever be worried about Dave Rubin?
going to say, I disagree. But you know what they are worried about? Masked far-left extremists who are going to show up to your place of work and firebomb
protest,
as they have been doing.
Ah, yes.
So, as a juror, being told you can side with those who would mercilessly beat you.
I was so mad. I got dismissed both times so far.
Oh, I know. They like to come out and say all the cops are bad. They're all evil. But
Trump would win 50 states.
As much as there are
I'm
problems
so sorry,
with
Ryan.
policing in this country, if you walk up to a cop and yell at him.
Also, when was the last fucking firebombing of a? Can I get a source for that? Matter of fact, let's do it. Let's do this together. U.S. fire bombing. No. God damn it. Retail maybe. 2 Illinois sentenced to prison for their roles in This was from last year? Uh-huh. Weapons charges. Okay, so regular ass terrorism, it looks like. If only I could find all of the retail fire bombings. I don't. God.
Likely not going to beat you. Now, look, don't get me wrong. You piss off the wrong cop, you're going to get arrested. Because not all cops are good people.
Whoa.
And some cops abuse their authority. But
why was that like a you fuck around
you
and
stop
find
a
out
homeless
thing?
person who's
What?
violent from attacking people, and this mob will come after you.
Were they being violent at
and
the time?
now if you're on the grand jury, and they say, should we indict? You look out the window, and what are you going to see? Far left extremists going like putting their finger over their neck, pointing at you, saying, "You better give us what we want." Or
I remember hearing about that.
and that's what everyone's experiencing. That's a narco tyranny.
It's fucking wild. So at some point, I want to do like just a long stream on the Red Summer, because I never heard about a lot of that stuff. That's just not history that even I got taught and I went to a like pretty good school district growing up. But I want to like do like a whole stream on like the Red Summer and all that shit, because that shit's fucking wild. The idea that they're, you know, like the fucking Tulsa race massacre doesn't get taught in schools is fucking travesty to me. Like, Jesus.
AOC, that's why I say she's maliciously evil. Because there's no way you look at a story like this and think someone like Daniel Perry, sorry, should be. Is it Perry? Have I been saying it wrong? Okay, it's written twice.
Yeah,
Daniel
the only
Penny
thing,
and Perry. I'm like, wait.
I got
what?
introduced to it in Watchmen. Like, we didn't learn it.
It says Perry.
I went to school in Virginia, in like Fairfax County, a good county, which I guess technically we were also in the South. That's also making sense why I never heard about it. But we also didn't get taught the Lost Cause. So, but still,
woman dies after being pushed onto subway tracks in Times Square. The police said Michelle Go, 40, of Manhattan, was shoved in front of an R train as it approached.
What the fuck is this? What's happening? I looked at chat for like 2 seconds to read. Now we're talking about another case.
42nd Street platform in Manhattan on Saturday morning. I always thought about this when I lived in New York.
Manhattan was shoved in front of an R train.
The subway trains. They say, watch out, don't fall between the train, and don't stand too close. Don't stand on the yellow part of the platform.
Yep.
A woman who's waiting for a train, probably leading a normal life, ordinary life.
Yep.
When a psychotic, violent, homeless man, for no reason, murdered her.
Okay.
When was this?
Did this person not get arrested? I'm confused. Is the argument that they weren't arrested for this, and AOC is instead calling for the arrest of Daniel Penny for murdering somebody, but not this guy? Or did this guy kill somebody and then enter into the normal processes of the criminal justice system? Doesn't seem like there's a problem.
When's this story from? January 15th, 2022.
Yeah, really? 2020, it's from a year ago.
Where's AOC? Where was she to come out and say that this must stop?
Where was AOC? She hasn't spoken about literally every murder ever in New York.
Found, I guess. In a horrifying instant,
a
man walked up to a 40-year-old woman waiting for the subway in Times Square on Saturday morning.
Cool.
And shoved her to the tracks as a train screeched into the station.
Cringe. Okay.
The attack, which appeared to be random, and which the police said had been committed by a man with a history of mental illness, who may have been homeless, immediately brought new urgency to several of the city's most pressing concerns. A rise in some forms of violent crime in areas including the subway, a debate about how to deal with the hundreds of homeless people who seek refuge there, and a transit system in desperate financial straits struggling mightily to lure back riders.
Well, luckily, there's actually some solutions to some of these. If we're talking about how to deal with the hundreds of homeless people who seek refuge, it would be called public housing, and building housing for these people and getting them mental health care. And preferably some food would be nice too. You know, allowing people to kind of, plant roots down, allow them to go somewhere that they can have a consistent place to sleep, a consistent place to eat, a consistent place to shower, allows them to get back up on their feet and join regular society after a small time. It's actually a lot more cost effective. Also, it's been found in I think I don't want to say if it's Seattle. I know one city has done a version of this and they found that it's a lot more cost efficient. But yeah, if you actually deal with it by addressing your homeless problem, you won't have this issue.
I'm not so sure I care about that last one. My concern is
really.
Protesters call for charges against Daniel Penny, man who placed Jordan Neely in a chokehold.
Well, oh God, I'm sorry if yeah, I know. I'm sorry if I'm pausing a lot, but I can't help but be like, wait, your argument is people are calling for charges on somebody who broke a law, but the hypocrisy is that they didn't call for charges for somebody who got charges who also broke a law? Like, where's the hypocrisy here? It's because there is none.
Think about the world that they are trying to give you, people like AOC. Let me show you her tweets.
Be nice if we had some fucking
AOC tweeted on May 6th.
Affordable housing, right?
Despite what Fox News wants you to believe, being afraid of an unarmed person is not a reason to kill them.
This is true.
We should never accept a society where such rationale becomes normal.
Yep,
especially when powerful incentives exist in politics and media to keep people afraid of each other.
Imagine if we just ran around
Mike
and
Cernovich says
every time
Ashley
somebody
Babbitt was unarmed.
Mildly,
Point.
It's too bad Ashley Babbitt
What is AOC trying to say?
It's too bad that Ashley Babbitt, unlike Jordan Neely, was committing a crime at the time. Funnily enough, fucking Tim Pool, somebody who believes in castle doctrine, has a problem with somebody breaking into a federal building through the window, mind you, and then getting shot when they don't, when they don't turn the fuck around. Yeah, no shit, Tim. I thought you were a castle doctrine guy. Now all of a sudden, oh, Ashley Babbitt was unarmed while she committed the crime of breaking into the Capitol. Yeah, no shit. That's why she died. You fucking idiot. She's breaking more laws than fucking Jordan Neely at the time. Fucking A. Oh my God.
See, we had Lance from the Surfs
idiocy
on the show last week, and he kept trying to push this lie. It's a manipulation, right? He said, was the actions of Daniel Penny proportional? And I said, yes, of course. And he said, so you think if someone is belligerent on a train, you can kill them?
Yep.
You see what they do? It's evil. I genuinely believe.
That's it? Nothing. You have no other argument than that. That's it. That can't be the end of it. That can't. That can't.
That can't. Lance is
you can't have a better
cog mindlessly echoing what's said to him by the left. That seems to have been a component.
What are you talking, Tim?
Like when he said forced birth over and over again.
No
and
way.
I'm like,
No way. You didn't.
What is AOC trying to say? You see, we had Lance from the Surfs on the show.
Lance from the Surfs.
Week, and
shouts out to Lance, but he did bite the bullet on a few things that he didn't need to. He could have performed better, but overall support to Lance.
He kept trying to push this lie.
I can't.
It's a manipulation, right?
Right.
He said, was the actions of Daniel Penny proportional?
Right.
And I said, yes, of course.
Okay. So the actions of Daniel Penny, which is putting a chokehold on somebody and killing them, that is what happened. That's what the coroner says. That is what happened. Is that
and he
justified?
Said, so you think if someone is belligerent on a train, you can kill them?
Right. This is true.
See what they do?
Where's the art? What? Yeah, yeah.
It's evil. I genuinely believe it's evil. It's possible Lance is just a cog mindlessly echoing what's said to him by the left. That seemed to have been a component of some of his arguments.
I can't believe that.
Like when he said forced birth over and over again, and I'm like, I don't know what that means.
I thought I missed something. I thought I had like a stroke or an aneurysm for a moment.
Forced birth? Like the baby's already there. I don't want to get into an abortion debate. But the point here is,
oh my God,
Daniel Penny did not kill this man.
What are you?
This man died in a fight with another man.
Whoa. Does Tim Pool know what fights look like? Fight is not you standing there and then someone sneaks up on you and hits you with the does he think Batman fights everybody throughout throughout his crime fighting years? No, he stealth kills everybody. Well, sorry, he stealth knocks everybody the fuck out. What the fuck is this? He put him in a chokehold and then he died. That's how chokeholds work. You get put in them and then you die.
He instigated it. So there's a big difference.
My bad.
The implication
I'm
is
so
that
mad.
when they
That's the
say
first
something,
thing
when
I
they
went
frame
to
it as though
and I
it's
was like, that's gonna be in my
proportional to
fucking
kill a man.
head for the rest of
The
the
implication
week,
is
probably.
that when Jordan Neely got on the train and started threatening people, that Daniel Penny thought to himself, "This man must die," and then said,
That's
he was going to
intent,
take
you
those actions.
fucking.
That's not
Oh
what
my
happened.
god, you brainlet. That's
3
intent.
individuals sought to stop a violent and unwell individual and then tried to save his life.
And then killed him.
Is it proportional? Yes.
How is it
to
proportional?
subdue a man who is violent and then try to
And then
put him in
and then kill him, and then try to save him. That is what happened. You killed him, and then you guys were like, shit. Wake the fuck up, dude.
the recovery position, or literally put him in the recovery position to save his life, is exactly what we'd expect people to do.
He does
Now,
know that there's such thing as
imagine
manslaughter, right?
on the
He does
train.
know that.
This man was going for
Imagine
this
a
woman to push
hypothetical.
her onto the subway tracks.
My God, dude, but it didn't happen. Tim, it didn't. That's not what happened. You cannot justify the murder of somebody by making up an extra crime that they did. That's not how that works. Ugh.
Let's talk about how you'd respond to that. Do you have a right in this country? You see a woman standing by the edge of the subway platform, and a man is walking towards her. You can't do anything.
You put him in a chokehold immediately.
No one did anything violent.
You
No
put
one
him in a
said any
chokehold, you
threats.
kill him, and then she turns around and goes, "Oh my God, my boyfriend! You just killed my boyfriend."
You can do nothing.
I mean,
you
that's
can't walk up to that guy and put him in chokehold. He said
Ugh.
nothing to no one. But in an instant, he murders that woman.
that is kind of
And it's too
how
late.
that is kind of how
So
violent
what
crime
do
happens.
you do? What do you do? Well, I got to tell you,
Other
it is
option.
tough. Because I mean, it
What if we
sincerely.
all just like
If a
carried
man is
firearms
walking
and every
towards him,
time
he can't just
somebody
put him in a chokehold.
intimidates you, you're
And
just
then as
allowed
we
to
see in
shoot
New
them?
York, he
Wouldn't
murders.
that make everyone safer?
AOC didn't care about this.
This is
AOC
true.
did not
AOC
come out
probably
and
didn't
say,
hear about it.
we must stop this violent crime. AOC tweets,
You looked at me
Republicans
funny.
keep
What could I
blaming
do?
mass
I
shootings
had to
on
shoot
mental
to kill.
health, but then
If
defend
I
the
ever
killing
meet
of
Tim
mentally
Pool, that's
ill
what's
too.
gonna happen.
You see what they do?
I'm gonna be like, I don't
You
know, man.
see
That
what
beanie looked at
they
me
do?
wrong.
AOC is implying that a mass shooter
How much do you
should
think his
be
AC
allowed
bill is? Wearing a beanie
to carry out the
365 days
attack
out of
because
the year.
they're unwell?
You gotta have the room.
This woman does
the room's
not
gotta be
think through
cold
her
at all
positions.
times.
She is just evil. And I think she's maliciously evil. This, to me, perfectly exemplifies there is no logic in her thought process. There is simply, I will say what my side demands of me to say. So when you have two stories, a mass shooter and Jordan Neely, a violent, mentally unwell individual, both are mentally unwell, AOC has to maintain both absurd positions.
Tim Gould.
The mentally ill mass shooter was bad, and it's guns that are Republicans that are at fault.
Well, yeah, because they don't restrict firearms, and because of that, this guy had pretty easy access to firearms. The fact that, the Nazi, the swastika tattoo wasn't enough to kind of, I don't know, tip off the authorities or something to, hey, maybe this guy shouldn't be allowed to own a firearm. Yeah, call me crazy. Maybe I just think that should probably that should be a bit disqualifying. I do think that if you have a swastika tattoo, you don't get to own guns. I'm okay with biting that bullet, but yeah, totally the same as a homeless dude who was on a train acting annoyingly. Even if I grant erratically, so what? Until the moment that his fists met a face, unjustified killing.
The mentally ill, belligerent man should not have been harmed, should not have been killed. So AOC, let me ask you.
I'm not sure if a Nazi.
If a mentally unwell Michael Jackson
I
impersonator
can't
grabbed
believe
a gun,
that guy. I
started
can't believe that
walking
guy
towards
really
his school,
was like,
and
how
that
do
was
you
it,
know someone's
do you
a
think
Nazi?
someone has the right to put them in a chokehold and restrain them? Then, after subduing them, place them in the
Is he
recovery
really? I
position?
saw Haas say that.
Do they have that
I saw
right?
Haas say that on Twitter.
Because according to AOC,
Is he really? Was he really a Tim Pool fan? That would be devastating.
I don't know where the line begins and ends with her because I don't think it does.
How long?
And
is
I think
this
you
video?
see that very much so with the conversation we had with Lance from the Surfs last week on Timcast IRL.
12 minutes. God damn.
It
there's
doesn't
still
matter
10 more
what's
minutes
true.
of
It
this?
matters what the talking point is. So, as I mentioned earlier,
think
again,
there
not
was
to
a playlist with
reignite
some
an abortion
Temple videos.
debate, but
Yeah.
to use this as an example.
Yeah, there was tweets.
The idea
Temple
of
defended
forced
himself by talking about trans people. Yeah, it's always, yeah. It's always, let's talk about, the dude from earlier did that too. The dipshit earlier who called in was like, let's talk about the trans Nashville shooter. I'm like, they never want to actually have the conversation. They're like, let's talk about something else. It's like, I don't, what do you want to talk about? Like, you came on here to talk about this. Talk about this. Stop like, Twitter, here we go. Thank you. Christ above. Let's see. S queer. Oh, I know who this is. Farway is not taking this well. Tim Pool deflecting the trans people. Ian Miles Chong is spinning conspiracy theories. TRHO, I don't know who that is. Posts that this was a psyop. Of course it was a psyop. You can never tell when they're right wing and they commit violence. I'm assuming. Oh yeah, I did see this tweet. This made no sense. I read this and I still don't understand what he's trying to say. Texas mass shooter profile on Russian social media site was found. He posted pictures of being a Nazi, reconnaissance photos. Yeah, so like you planned it. I'm assuming they posted the fake Russian profile in response to the fact that a trans person shot kids and they are terrified. Yeah, I don't even understand that sentence. Okay. Oh boy, does this mean I'm gonna start trending again? Trans person executed 3 children. What? I hate everybody in this. I hate all of them. The alleged shooter's alleged profile claims that he was inspired by libs of TikTok. Yes. Let's see. Between this and the Tim Pool references, this thing is suspect. Yes. It's implicated. Yeah. Where is his Twitter account? Why was he using Russian social media? Because he's a Nazi. That's why. I love how Elon has to jump in and is like, we'll get to the bottom of this as soon as we can. Once I can hire literally anybody to fix this broken fucking site. This post, yeah, like who cares? All right, does he need a Twitter account does it matter? It's a psyop. Jesus Christ, these people. Why is San Andreas trending? Man. Digging through the site, the account was created in 2020. His posting going back to then, it was clear for the past few months he was building his account up as a diary. Yeah, like the dude earlier was like, why don't we get to see the Nashville shooters manifesto? And it's like, well, they didn't fucking put it online and they didn't post it publicly. That's why. All these fucking Nazis are too fucking stupid to understand that their opinions and their views aren't exactly favored. So they all post all their fucking L's online, and then when they go and commit violence, it's easy to identify them and tie them to this shit. Fucking idiots. Nazis are too stupid to care about fucking optics. That's why they just post their fucking fascism all over the fucking web. This online history, yeah. Yeah, the cops are going to immediately scan the manifesto and release it on Twitter. They should.
To birth. We hear things like that from the left. Forced birth, trans genocide, you think trans people don't exist. These don't mean anything. They may as well just
say, is rhetoric.
Blippity blop blop boop. And then it's gibberish, but it's a signal.
I'm going to save this video. I want that as a fucking sound drop. Where I'm going to get that blippity blop bloop bleep. I'm getting that as a fucking
meaning I'm
fucking
on your side.
I'm putting that on the fucking sound bar.
What does forced birth mean? A woman is pregnant, the baby is there, the baby must come out. That's it. And no matter how many times I said I'm pro-choice, he was just like, you're for forced birth. And I'm like, bro, that doesn't mean anything. The baby's there, it's got to come out, right? Tell me how you do it. We had Matt Bender on the show, another leftist. He said,
didn't Bender fucking
you
like
think trans
body?
people don't exist? I said, what does that mean? Like, what does that mean?
Tim.
'Cause I think trans people exist. I don't know why you're saying that. And he's just like, he had no answer. Literally no answer. And this is exactly the point. They're just mindless statements that don't mean anything that the left just says to each other. They say it to signal that they're also on the left.
The Israeli
But
was
if you're talking
trending.
about
Uvalde
logically
was
solving
trending.
problems, we have an
Vosh
issue.
was trending.
Do you subdue a violent, deranged
He needs to go back on
person?
Tim Pool.
Or do you not? There were reports that in the 911 calls that somebody was armed. Could it have been Jordan Neely? I don't know. Perhaps not. I think they would have said that.
Would it? All right. I give up. I'm done. I'm not sitting through 10 more minutes of this. Also, I'm driving right up to when I need to end stream anyway. But this is just conspiracy. We're now just making up, oh, he had a gun, except nowhere have we seen any evidence to suggest that he had a firearm on him. But, also, even if he had a firearm on him, Tim, don't people have a right to bear arms? Isn't that a thing? Shouldn't they be allowed to have those firearms on them anyway? I thought that was like a whole tenet of the Second Amendment, isn't it? But asking for consistency is a bit too much of an ask. And trans people are mentioned in each of Tim Pool's video. It's like you can't make it. Yeah, dude, yeah, every time. Nice anime. Oh, thank you. So, actually, the reason why I didn't really want to engage with that specific topic was this isn't even my stuff. This is my girlfriend's stuff. This one's actually what is this? This is like a painting, like a, not watercolor. Is there one that, okay, I can take this off. Okay, this is just tape and this is coming off anyway. Like, hopefully you guys can see this. It's from this one artist. If I can find their thing, Jed Henry. But they do like these really nice prints. This is Animal Crossing. Really nice stuff. Very like traditional style. But yeah, that's why I was like, when he mentioned the wall behind me, I was like, I'm not gonna get into it. This isn't even my stuff. And literally none of it is animated. This is like a Last of Us thing. And the rest of this is random art shit. But yeah. But thank you anyway. She does have good taste. We share a room and all my stuff's in that corner over there. Well, actually, all my stuff is on that shelf that you can't even see. But one day when I have a big old streaming room, I'll have an actual background instead of or at least one that's more has my stuff on it. But anyway. Okay, tomorrow. I closed everything. Damn it. Okay, tomorrow. Do I have anything that we're definitely gonna go over tomorrow? Let's see. Oh yeah. Okay. So I want to go over the Proud Boys' convictions tomorrow. That should be fun. Maybe we'll go over Ben talking about the shooter from the weekend, but I don't really know if I want to field any more arguments about that. I'm kind of tired a little bit of that topic. So we'll definitely be talking about the Proud Boys stuff. Whatever else, we'll fill in with whatever else is going on. I'm sure something will happen in the next 24 hours. But either way, I really, and I really mean this. I really appreciate you guys sticking around and hanging out. This is probably the most the most amount of traffic that I've seen, especially during like a debate, and that was very impromptu. But I appreciate Ignu. I appreciate you chiming in during that. It was nice to read, to kind of like keep my brain flowing a little bit while it was being melted by that guy's dumbass points. With the Nazi. Yeah, dude, you came in like right at the precise moment. That was such a, good God. But yeah, I really appreciate you guys for hanging out and everything. I'll be back tomorrow, 7:00 Mountain Time. Same with Thursday. Otherwise, I would send you to another streamer, but I don't have anybody that I need to network more. That's like, okay. Ooh, I can send you to Xanderhall if people are okay. I'm gonna send you to Xanderhall just so I don't know. I don't know. Then I've been trying to get a hold of him so I could talk with him at some point. But obviously I am incredibly small and he is not. So I'm gonna send you his way so that maybe he knows that I exist. Who knows? But either way, you all have a lovely night. I will see you all tomorrow, hopefully. That'd be really cool. Otherwise, have a nice night. Now I have to figure out how the fuck. See, now I have to learn how to fucking send people over. Isn't it you raid them, right? Yeah. I'm bad at this. Look, I work in a kitchen, so don't judge me too much. I'm not good at this whole content creator thing. Oh, yeah. Okay, that. Okay, good. Do it. Cool. All right. Oh, ready in okay. Uh-huh. 2 viewers. Okay, cool. Ready to launch? Uh-huh. I don't know what's happening. This is the first time this has happened. Okay, cool. 3, 2, 1. Everyone have a nice night. Bye. Yeah. It just I'm assuming that did something. I don't actually know. We'll hit the end stream. Hopefully that did it.